Bouchard! Edmonton has a 2-goal lead.
On Sports 1440.
Back on a free for the win.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Smith again, 3. He's a flamethrower.
A tremendous Thursday afternoon. How are you? And welcome to the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440 Orders Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you're having a lovely Thursday. Oh, it felt beautiful out there today. A little warmth. Get out of the vehicle. I'm not freezing like the last few days. It's fantastic. Awesome. Maybe it was just warm because it's the daily grand at PlayAlberta.ca. $1,000 a day for the next 20 years. $7.3 million. That's what you can win. A G-Note a day. Pretty sweet. Get your tickets at PlayAlberta.ca. We got lots to talk about. Ooh, something tells me the text line will be humming because for 40 minutes last night, Oiler fans were probably pretty excited. Pretty happy watching their team control the game. They got a little bit of a lucky break. Power play actually scored a goal. But 5-on-5, man, they controlled that game. One mishandle of a puck was the only reason Dallas had a goal. But there wasn't much else going on. The Oilers had that game in control. They had 58 seconds to of a power play for Dallas to start the third period. Didn't happen. Dallas scores 32 seconds in. Now it's 3-2. All of a sudden, the crowd's into it. You got some momentum. Edmonton takes another penalty. Then Granlund makes it 3-3. Uh-oh. Okay, calm down. You're fine. Edmonton takes another penalty. Duchesne scores 4-3. And literally in a span of 5 minutes and 26 seconds, the Oilers went from leading 3-1 to trailing 4-3 in a game that they had in control. And their penalty kill sucked. Their discipline sucked. They couldn't get a save at key time on the penalty kill. And it was pretty much good night, Irene. Then their power play, a few minutes later, got a chance. And what did their power play do? A whole lot of nothing. They didn't even get a shot on goal. Not even a shot. And then they end up, but now they did have some chances later at 5-on-5. But last year in this series, the Oilers power play their power play played a huge factor in game 5 and 6. They won game 5, 3-1. They scored 2 power play goals. They won game 6, 2-1, despite getting outshot 34-10. And they scored 2 power play goals. Like, they only had 8 shots at 5-on-5 because they only had 2 shots and both of them went in the net on the power play. Like, so power play was massive because their penalty kill did not allow a goal in the series. So they were +4 on special teams in the series. But their percentage was 136 because they were 100% on the penalty kill and 36% on the power play. And if you look at Dallas's path to success so far this year in the postseason, it's all been about their special teams. In the opening round series against Colorado outscored them 5-on-5 by 2, but Dallas won the special teams battle. Their power play was 30%. Their penalty kill was 86. Boom. Go to Winnipeg. 5-on-5 even. 8 goals for, 8 goals against. But Dallas, 31% on the power play, 85% on the penalty kill. Boom. They win that series. They're a -2 at 5-on-5, and they're +8 on special teams. That's the difference for them. The Oilers their penalty kill is struggling, and their power play hasn't been really that good since LA because they weren't at 9% against Vegas. Now, they did score a goal last night. Great. But came on a little bit of a broken play, deflection pass from McDavid that hit 2 Dallas sticks, finds Nugent Hopkins wide open. Boom. Back of the net. But their power play hasn't been like generating tons of chances. And you're thinking, oh, they're just snake bit. No, they don't look in sync at all. They got to figure it out because Dallas right now, their power play is great. So you're going to hope that your penalty kill can be better. Part of it would start by not taking as many penalties. But yeah, they got to get better because their 5-on-5 game was very good last night. Very good. You'd have no problem with it. You would take that. Now, here's the thing. Dallas is hoping they can play better. Matt Duchene said, man, you feel great when you win a game when you don't have your A game. And they didn't have their A game. They kind of had their C game because they had one period. And really, they had a 5-minute and 26-second span that won them the game, all on the power play. So the Oilers will regroup. They're a resilient team. There is some good news, though, Oilers fans. You need something good in the salary cap era. Because we can look at history, sure, but I think it's better in the salary cap era. It's probably more accurate portrayal of how the teams are. So teams who win game 1 of the conference final at home in a series, they're 12-5 overall. Not bad. Teams who lose game 1 of a conference final on the road are actually 10-11 in the series, almost 500. They're the lower seed, but it doesn't seem to hurt them as much. So we'll look to see kind of what happens here for the Oilers. They lost game 1 on the road. Come back. Now you're even. Great. Obviously, going down 0-2, not good. Whether it's conference final, whether it's historically, the numbers are pretty ugly. Now, I know Edmonton came back from LA, so it can happen, of course, but the odds are pretty low. In the history of the NHL in best of sevens, the Oilers were the 36th team to ever come back from an 0-2 deficit starting on the road. Only happened 36 times now. And they've lost the other 270 times. So do quick math on that. Not great. Not great at all. But right now, it's one game, and the Oilers will have to regroup. We know they're capable of being better. Heck, they played better for the first 40 minutes. Goaltending was good. Penalty kill actually killed off the only power play of the first, power play and a half, right? They killed off the first 3 minutes of Dallas's power play, and then they got murdered. Changes quickly. And their power play didn't do much. So there'll be no Ekholm, as we've said all along. Ekholm's not playing in game 2. So there's no cavalry coming in for the penalty kill. Penalty kill's got to be better. Because it's not like they're giving up one goal from the same place all the time. Like if you look at the first goal last night, Matthias Janmark, you're right there in the shooting lane. You got to lean to your right, not to your left. If he leans to the right, he probably blocks a shot. When the Oilers penalty kill was dominant, they're blocking shots all over the place. Right? Stuart Skinner on the first goal or the first power play goal, got to do a better job looking around the screen. 100%. But if Janmark's in the lane, shots blocked, kind of irrelevant. That's part of penalty kill. The second one, I kind of just give credit to Dallas. You're going to make a good play. It's a great shot by Granlund. No chance. The third one, Skinner's got to battle harder. You might have thought there was contact. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Now, I know some people thought Troy Stetcher got tripped in front. I watched the replay numerous times. I think that's just accidental contact between him and Wyatt Johnson, not really even looking at each other. Now, that definitely opened up the short side down low, right? Because Stetcher's on the ice. He can't get up to go there. If he's standing up, he probably has a chance at least to compete with Duchene, so he can't just get 2 whacks at it. So they scored one from a point shot, one from down low, one from on the other right side. They beat you in 3 different places. And it was the second unit that scored. So they'll regroup, and they'll have to come out better because, hey, the playoff showed you, man, you can't. I guess you can. Dallas just did it. It's hard to win when you only play 20 minutes, but Dallas did, and now we'll see how they bounce back. 833-401-1440, 401-1440 in our eWell inbox. Coming up on the program today, loaded show for you. We will hear from Mike Rupp right off the top. We got Jeff Merrick in the 3 o'clock hour. David Dwork from Florida as the Panthers look to go up 2-0 in that series. Spec DVD will join us later on. We'll talk some racing with Livingston. We got Thirsty Thursday with David Owens from Sherbrooke Liquor. Lots of text time. Also, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander got the MVP. I thought well-deserving of the MVP yesterday for them. And also, we do have to talk about the NBA game last night. If you're a sports fan, you saw something that has never happened in the history of the NBA, ever. The Pacers were down 9 points in the final minute of the game. No team in NBA history. They were 1,414. A record of 1,414 when you trail by 9 points in the final minute. And now it's 1 and 1,414 as the Pacers came all the way back. That is, they've had 4 games this year in the playoffs where they've overcome a 17-point deficit to win. And 4 times they've overcome a 7-point deficit in the final minute to win. Like, what is going on? They are the cardiac kids, the comeback kids, whatever you want to call it. But the Pacers, they don't give up. And, man, if you're, like, Oilers fans, I think would be pretty frustrated right now. But if you're a Knicks fan, like, come on. That is, like, without question, the worst gagging on a lead in NBA history. No one's ever given up a 9-point lead in the last minute of a game. Ever. 9+ points. Ever. Until last night. So that was wild, man. Absolutely wild. So if you're a fan of comebacks, last night, you'd be a big fan of it. Of course, you have OKC hosting Minnesota tonight. They're looking to go up 2-0, and Florida is looking to go up 2-0 against Carolina. 833-401-1440. Gregor, wasn't it Gretzky who said 100% of the shots you don't take won't make it to the net? Yeah, well, you 100% of the shots you can't score if you don't take a shot, and 100% of the shots you miss the net you can't score on. I think that's what it was. Hey, Gregor, I slow-mowed the high stick from 3 different angles. His stick was nowhere near the Dallas player who immediately grabbed his face in pain. Nogi, you are 100% incorrect. Okay? So what angle you're looking at is false, because I've seen the angle Connor Halley showed it. Go on Connor Halley's Twitter or mine and you will see it. Or Dave Jackson had another one. There is a still shot of Kane's stick directly in the face. Directly in the face. It's a penalty all day long. No one can complain about that. I'm sorry. That is a penalty all day long. Hey, Gregor, doesn't that scare you when Duchesne says they didn't play that well? Well, it just says, hey, they didn't have their A game, and it feels great when you win. 100%. Yeah. And so the Oilers, now you make life a little bit harder on yourself. Now, I wanted to get the salary cap numbers because in the salary cap era, I think teams are a little bit more even overall, and the numbers back it up in the conference final. The team who loses game 1 on the road is 10-11 in the series. So still almost a coin flip. So it's not that bad in the salary cap era. Now, for the Edmonton Oilers, losing game 1 in conference final, Colorado, lost. Lose game 1 in the Stanley Cup final, 2006, out. Lose the first game, Stanley Cup final, game 7, out. So for the Oilers, they're 0-3. Now, they were on the road for all 3 of them. So, funny enough, when it's now 2 of those games were in the Stanley Cup final and 1 of them. So, you think about it. In the other 21 times it's happened, or 20 times it's happened, teams are 10-10. Oilers are the one team that's 0-1, having lost to Colorado on the road. They got swept in 2022. So, do I think Edmonton can still come back? Yeah. The series is far from over, but it just makes the importance of game 2 much higher. And the Oilers are just simply going to have to be more consistent. It's just that it. Hey, Gregor, why do you think the Oilers haven't tried to set up Bouchard for some more bombs in the power play? What are they doing right now? Isn't working. I can understand why they haven't changed it up from Ryan. Well, their power play does look a little stubborn. And it's funny enough, as dominant as their power play has been, it just shows you how when your confidence level and your Christmas there, although the Oilers, I will say, they're actually still generating a fair amount of chances. Now, last night, their last power play was awful. They didn't even generate one chance. That one was brutal. Historically, though, Bush bombs doesn't score a lot of them, right? Remember, he didn't have a power play goal all year until he got the one that went off the other team first. So, I don't know if that's the best solution. Now, if you're thinking, hey, just get shots on net from there and cause some chaos, I can see that. And mix in maybe a few Hyman or Perry goals from down low. Very plausible. I just think Edmonton, when they've got chances to shoot from the slot, shoot the damn puck. I'm not talking from the point. I'm talking from the middle of the ice. And hey, I know we had Stephen Valaquette on it, and he introduced everybody to the Royal Road, and I see a lot of people talking about it now, right? Passing across the middle of the ice. I understand it, but it doesn't mean you have to go crazy on it. You don't always have to do it. If you're in a good shooting lane, you can still rip it. So I'd like to see them rip it for sure. Hey, Gregor, not sure what game you're watching. The Oilers turned the puck over constantly. They were lucky to be up 3-1. What? What are you talking about? Show. We'll go look at the stats. There's not stats that back up that the Oilers had a lot of turnovers in that game. They didn't. Oilers at 5-on-5 were the quicker team, which I said before the series they are, and all the statistical data backs it up. They're a quicker team. They played faster. Up until the third period, the Oilers were in complete control of that game. And 5 minutes and 26 seconds of power play time. And it wasn't all power play time, but it was 3 goals in the power play. And that changed everything. Changed everything. So the Oilers and the Stars had the same amount of giveaways, according to the NHL. So I don't see giveaways by the Oilers as a significant higher issue. I never saw Edmonton, now on their first goal, I don't even know if that's a giveaway. Draisaitl just mishandles the puck. It'll classify as a giveaway, but it wasn't like he tried to force a pass into a small area. Puck just went off his stick. That's going to happen every now and then. It's unlucky. Way you go. But I didn't see a bunch of turnovers from the Oilers. Hey, Greg's even just get Bouchard sifting pucks through. I have no problem. He's good at getting pucks on net. That's totally valid at times. Yep. They got to do so. I just think their power play right now is too stagnant. They're settling for the outside, and I don't think they have enough urgency. I'd like to see them win a faceoff. Remember for a while there, they were like, we're going to get a shot in the first 10, 12 seconds. We'll go back to that maybe and see, because here's the thing. Ideally, you want your penalty kill to improve. But until their penalty kill improves, their power play's got to match what Dallas is going to do. Otherwise, because Dallas, they won last night based on their special teams 1,000%. Right? That was the difference in the game. 3 power play goals, back to back to back, and that was the difference in the game. It won them the game. So Edmonton special teams won them game 5 and 6, although Skinner was really good in game 6. But they did score both goals. So they played a huge factor in the win. So now that's 1 game for Dallas. And Dallas's special teams have won them a lot of games in the playoffs this year. So they're going to look for that to continue. So the Oilers, you can hope that you can score on the power play. Great. But their penalty kill at some point's got to get going. Quick break. Mike Rupp will join us next. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Get moving with Volvo and save big for summer during the May sales event at Volvo Cars Edmonton. It's the final month to lease or finance a 2025 XC90 plug-in hybrid from 1.49% and save $5,000. Lease or finance a 2025 XC60 plug-in hybrid from 0.49% and save $3,000. Lease or finance a 2025 XC40 from 0.49% and save up to $2,000. Volvo Cars Edmonton. Great vehicles, better services. Only at VolvoCarsEdmonton.com.
A pizza from Papa John's is already pretty great, but you know what's even better? 2 pizzas from Papa John's. For a limited time, get a medium 1-topping pizza for only $6 when you order any large specialty pizza at regular price. The works, the meats. Pick your favorite specialty pizza and get even more delicious Papa John's to enjoy. Whether you're feeding your family, your team, or yourself, get your next meal from your locally owned and operated Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions take one for Gene Principe. Hey, thanks for being on time.
I'm always punctual. Now, how about some cool beats while I drop the heat?
Ready when you are.
Tall legacy, tall legacy.
Nice.
Boom! I'm a musical genius.
Legacy's gonna love this for AC season.
What's not to love with no interest and no Principe payments for 1 year?
Are you always like this?
Yep, unlike Legacy, I never know when to cool it.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
In 1973, deep in the basement of an Edmonton family home, an elite team of specialized forces came together to form Action Electrical.
Action Electrical Divisions, assemble.
Projects team reporting.
Service team reporting.
Testing team reporting.
Energy team reporting.
Supercharged with skills in their electrical fields and grounded by strong family values, facing an electrical menace, call on the men and women of Action. Operating throughout Alberta at actionelectrical.net.
Hey, Alberta. The all-new Play Alberta app is here. Casino, sports betting, lottery, all in one app, right on your phone. And because it's Play Alberta, you know it's safe, secure, and reliable. Download it now and play over 500 online casino games, live dealer tables, and unique games you'll love. Plus, bet on sports from anywhere in the province. You in? Download Play Alberta now from your phone's app store and deposit using promo code OIL for a $100 casino bonus on the house. That's promo code OIL for a $100 casino bonus.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Grant Fedoruk here from Leading Edge Physiotherapy. Now, some people live with problems they don't have to because they might not know that we're here, the things we can do, and the issues we can help. Problems less talked about, like incontinence, vertigo, Bell's palsy, and lymphedema, or even things people live with every day, like shoulder, neck, and low back pain. So while a lot of people already know we have the people, tools, and technology to help you head to toe, I'm going to keep at this, because if just one more person gets the care they need, then every penny we spend sharing what and who we can treat is worth it. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Back by popular demand, the Operation 36 Junior Golf Program at Cattail Crossing Golf Club. Designed for kids ages 5 through 17, it combines instruction and on-course play, focusing on technique, strategy, and course management. Taught by certified CPGA pros. Only $325 for 4 weeks of instruction, plus 4 9-hole rounds of golf. Operation 36, Wednesdays 5:30 till 7:30 p.m. through August. Register at cattailcrossing.ca. Click on Junior Program or call 780-973-6686.
For a rock-solid start on all your spring and summer projects, Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete to septic tanks, precast water pads to outhouses, plus aggregates, landscaping supplies, and more. Renos, construction. Start planning right now at BashawConcrete.com or call 780-372-3854. That's 780-372-3854. Family owned and operated, proudly serving Albertans since 1963. Bashaw Concrete Products.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Connor Halley, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Of course, sports1440.ca. The Jays and San Diego, what are they into the 11th inning now? Well, it was 4-4. They each scored a run in the 10th, and now San Diego's already scored one in the 11th. Now, of course, they start with the runner on second base, and both teams have been good at cashing them in thus far. Man, LT stormed out of the studio today. He was so fired up at Hoffman for blowing it. Hey, he's done. I think he's done. He's got to be injured. He's brutal. Oh, man, I wish I would have seen LT last night watching the third period of the Oilers game. Oh, might have been throwing his remote control. He's pretty fired up. The Oilers penalty kill, discipline, goaltending, you name it, not good enough in the third period. Let's get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by Silent Ice and actually the Spruce Grove Saints. If you're looking for a gig, they have a manager of marketing and sales for the Spruce Grove Saints. It's a full-time gig, of course. You'll be covering the team, helping out with the marketing and everything else. So if you're interested on the gig, I recommend checking out and contacting JJ Bear at the Spruce Grove Saints. All right, just send him an email, jhebert, HEBERT at silentice.com. So if you're looking to be the marketing manager working for the Spruce Grove Saints, as we welcome in Mike Rupp from the NHL Network. Rupper, how you doing?
I'm good, Greg. How you doing, buddy?
Woo, better than the Oilers' third period, man. God,
yeah.
the game 60 minutes, Rupper, because for 40 minutes, people are like, damn, the Oilers controlled that game. Like they and not surprising because they are a quicker team than Dallas, but they had that game in control for 40 minutes. And you're thinking, hey, okay, we got 58 seconds of a power play to kill off, and then we'll roll. And that didn't happen. Then they took another penalty. That didn't kill off. Then they took another one. And all of a sudden, in 5 minutes, Rupper, they went from leading 3-1 to trailing 4-3. And it was pretty much good night, Irene.
Yeah, I don't all I learned from last night's game is that this is going to be a long series. I feel like that's what I learned from it. Not that I didn't think it was going to be prior. I just saw the Edmonton Oilers look pretty darn good there for a good stretch of that hockey game. But then I also was reminded that this Dallas team's a little bit different now. And they've had 3 games now. They've had one in each series, I believe. There was clearly the game 7 against Colorado. Going blank on which game in particular it was against Winnipeg. And then it was last night's game where it's just they're a team that all of a sudden now – it used to always be Edmonton and Colorado. When I'm watching games 1 through 82 or in these playoff games, going into a third period, and you're flipping around from games. And if I ever saw the Edmonton Oilers down, I don't know, 2, 3, and you still got 20 minutes left, I'm like, God, this game's not over yet. I think the same thing with Colorado. When all of a sudden Dallas is starting to do that. And if you give them some life, they can flip a game real quick. And in those 3 games, they have had like 5 to 7 minutes where they scored 3+ goals and really flipped the game on its head. And that's what we saw. So you're bang on. It's a little bit too much reaching, I think, from Edmonton. The sticks getting away from them. And I think that's the frustrating part is that it wasn't even like plays where you had to like defend. Yes. It was just reaching. And it was a tough go. But I learned that this is going to be a long series. I really believe that.
Yeah. Well, I thought it'd be long. The thing about it is I was looking like historically the numbers are if you lose game 1 of a series, you know what? Your odds aren't great of coming back. But I want to dig a little bit deeper. So I looked at the salary cap era and I looked specifically at the conference final where it's better teams. And you know what? The team who loses game 1 on the road ends up being they win 10 of 21 series, almost 500 still, right? That kind of surprised me a little bit. But so they've come back as the home team's won 17 times. The road team's the home team's won 21. The road team has lost 21. And they've come back, though, 10 of the 11 series. Now, the Oilers, actually, they didn't do that when they lost to Colorado in 2022. So everybody else in that time is 10-10. So the Oilers, you know what? It shouldn't be, oh, my God, the sky is falling, Rupper. However, Matt Duchene said something after that game. Man, when you win and you don't have your A game, you feel pretty good in the playoffs, right? Because you know you can play better, right? And so I do think Dallas can play better, but let's start with the area for the Oilers, special teams, right? Dallas is basically winning all their series on special teams. I looked at all their numbers in Colorado, right? They were negative scoring in 5-on-5, but they're positive on the special teams. Negative against Winnipeg, even with Winnipeg, beat them on special teams. Now they beat the Oilers on special teams last night. What do you think the Oilers penalty kill has to do better against this power play of the Stars?
Yeah, you know what? I think that it's before you even get to what the penalty kill needs to do. I think if you're a penalty kill guy or just the penalty kill in general, 2 or 3 kills, we'll do that. We'll get that. But when you start creeping up into 4, 5, 6, like this is where it starts to become a problem. When another team gets more and more looks, and we always talk about what types of penalties they are, and I know that that's kind of foolish talk at times, but it seems to work in that regard, is what kind of penalties that you're taking as well. But I just think that I want to go to a page that Dallas is doing in the playoffs, and their PK, the numbers on the PK, some of the underlying numbers aren't all that great. They have been killing at a pretty good rate. A lot of that's Jake Ottinger. But the thing that we've been doing breakdowns of their penalty kill in each round, and it's been really intriguing because they, in round 1, go against the number 1 power play in Colorado since January 1st or whatever it was. Winnipeg was the number 1 power play in the league. And the Edmonton Oilers might be the best power play in the last 20 years. So they've got a tough path. And what I've noticed with them is they've made adjustments each round, but they've decided what they are going to give up. They've notified, I believe, Jake Ottinger, this is the look that you're going to get if you get one. This is your guy. And I think that they've done really well with that. Now, with Edmonton, I just think more in general terms, like when you establish those things and can be predictable, it's only going to help. It's only going to help Stuart Skinner. Like, and that's easier said than done. But those are the adjustments. Like, all right, hey, we got to start with something here. Of all of the things that this team likes to do, we are going to give them this one. We have to take some of these away. I think right now it's a little bit too much of a mixed bag, and they've got too much star power there, no pun intended, and they're able to put the puck in the net.
Yeah, well, I looked at the goals last night, and I look at the first power play goal from Heiskanen.
Yeah.
Janmark is close to the shooting lane, and it's like he leaned left. If he's to the right, that probably goes off of him. Stuart Skinner's got to do a better job, I think, of looking over the screen, right? So that would be, to me, on that one. They weren't like in an awful position.
Yeah.
They were close, but I think if you're the high guy and you're that close, you got to get in the shooting lane. The second goal I thought was actually just sometimes you're like, hey, they make a good play. Granlund made a hell of a shot. They got some open. Okay. The last one, Skinner's got to battle harder. I get he thought he was contacted, but you got to get back over there. The play's still ongoing. You can't be looking at the ref like, hey, give me a whistle here. So that's what I didn't love on that one. Now, Stetcher fell, kind of got tripped by Johnson. I don't think it was a penalty. I think they just collided into each other. So that left Duchesne wide open with no one, against there. So maybe a bit unlucky, but I still want Skinner to battle more. So it's not like they're giving up an obvious thing, Rupper. It's they got beat from 3 different areas, which is maybe the most concerning thing. Because usually on a penalty kill, you're going to sit there in your penalty kill room. And I know at least when we did it, the coach, okay, we're going to give up this shot. We're the most comfortable with giving up this, and we hope our goalie knows it, and then we're going to try to, take away the other ones. Right? Is that kind of how you see it?
Yeah, that's how I see it. But with all those things you just said right there, like we're talking about a bunch of different looks that they're getting and where they're getting those looks from. So as much as you talk about, all right, if we're going to give up something, it's going to be this. In that same breath, you have to be saying, we can't give up these, though. And I still think it's just too unpredictable in what they're getting. And again, sometimes it's bad bounces, bad luck, C&I puck. There's a lot of things that go into it. I mean, it just by having that conversation isn't going to change anything. I just think it's a starting point of just being a little more predictable for Stuart Skinner. It has been a bit of an issue before the last night's game. So it's just tough because that was such a strong suit for this team last year in that run. But man, if they can find a way to get that back, I mean, obviously last night's game could have been different. But I think the real encouraging thing is that they carried a lot of play over that 60 minutes.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, right? They'll come back and they'll be confident with it and they'll move on. But I think they got to be a little bit more disciplined too, right? Corey Perry, hey, the guy tied Larry Robinson for 7th most games played in the playoffs. You can't take a high-sticking offensive zone penalty at that stage of the game.
No, you can't. You can't. And I think that it's, if anything, I think the one thing I saw in the game is that Edmonton seems to be that they're a faster team. I believe that they're a faster team in the way they almost make you defend more. If I see those types of infractions, and I'm not talking about the Perry one, I'm talking about the reaching ones. These penalties should be going against Dallas. You know what I mean? Like, and they aren't necessarily. So I think that's. I always find that, generally speaking, a lot of those stick infractions, it's just moving your feet. It's just maybe being a step behind and reaching at different times. And I think they were susceptible of that last night.
Yeah. Looking at the overall game now for Edmonton, I don't you're not gonna Ekholm's not ready anyway. They don't have another goalie, so anybody wants to talk goaltending, not going to do it. But what about matchups? Did you see anything you would tweak, or because your 5-on-5 play was good, you're just going to say, hey, let's just kind of do what we do?
I thought the 5-on-5 play was good, and I think that Edmonton's an interesting one because I think that the D-core, we've talked about it, and I know a lot of outlets have. The D-core has been really solid in these playoffs, and I didn't think that was necessarily going to be the case when you looked at it when Mattias Ekholm's out. Now, with that being said, I don't know. I don't overly feel like they're married to matchups and they're trying to get all they don't really have, for me, the D-core to do that. They don't have that blanketing guy where you're just going to throw out there and be like, all right, he is the guy that's going to negate the other team's top line. I just think that what has been going good with them is they've just got some flow to their game, and they're allowing these guys to get involved, and it's something that I think has really allowed these guys to play at a higher level and find another level. So, for me, I think it's more of that. I think that the Edmonton Oilers are a team that I think when they are just playing their game, and that's what every team sets out to do. When you come into a game and you want to kind of force your will upon the opponent. Well, Edmonton's got that ability, and a lot of that stems from their talent up front. I would almost hate to see them try to overthink things. I think they were good. I think they were good. I think Edmonton can win the series with the type of game they played last night, minus those penalties. I mean, I really think that was all the difference in the game. The one thing is, I feel like Jake Ottinger, although he gave up some goals last night, he's going to be the one that you're going to have to figure out consistently in this series to win. And that to me is the biggest challenge. So I think the biggest challenge is more offensively than necessarily it is defensively. You just got to be smart with not taking penalties.
Now we move ahead to tonight, game 2, Carolina, Florida. Florida really controlled that game, and unlike Edmonton, they finish it off. Carolina really wasn't it. Now that's 5 conference final games in 2 years against Florida, Rupper, and they haven't won one. Now, the other ones were close. Last night wasn't close at all. What do you make of it? Can Carolina play better, or is Florida just better?
I think it's a lot to do with Florida, to be honest with you. I mean, there's good portions of that game I thought Carolina looked pretty good. But Florida just has this ability. I mean, it's nothing new. I mean, you look at the heat map of shots and shot attempts in that game. I mean, Florida found a lot right in the house, in the area like that. That's where they get their opportunities from, and they bury those opportunities. And then you start looking at it from the Carolina standpoint. There's a lot more from the outside, but you're not going to change that now. That's who they are. That's how they've had success. I mean, they did it in the first 2 rounds, and they mowed through 2 teams. I just think Florida's a different hockey club now. The one area that I think they could certainly do a better job of is their puck placement or the type of dump in. So when you're looking at the regular season, and we've talked about this and covered it a lot last year too, and we know with Edmonton playing in the finals against Florida dumps the puck in. They're a throwback team. They dump the puck and rim it more than anybody else by a large margin. I think this year they had 500 more rims on their dump-ins than the next team, and that next team is the Carolina Hurricanes. Mm-hmm. So they're a team that they're really good at doing that, and they're connected, and they make life miserable for you on that forecheck. Well, on the flip side of it, Carolina is a team that thrives on the forecheck, but they didn't really get to that very good in the first game. I thought that Florida did an awesome job of running. They're kind of running their picks or chipping players, getting a piece of them there on the forecheck, on the same side dumps in, cross corner dumps. None of them were working out for them. But when Carolina was rimming the puck like a page out of Florida's book, they were able to sustain some pressure and get the puck back. So that's an area I think they could do a better job of. I just think Carolina, the way they play, it's such a demonstrative way. We're energetic. We're forcing you all over the ice. We're forechecking. They usually get their way. Well, they're not against Florida because Florida does the exact same thing, and they're having success doing it. So I think a couple adjustments by Rod Brindamore, they should be fine. But this Florida team, man, they're another animal.
Yeah. Well, man, they've got a unique blend of how they play, no question. It sounded like Carolina might make some lineup changes tonight, though, Rupper. Think that's going to make an impact?
Yeah, so sounds what Kotkaniemi's not going to be good to go. I think that hurts them quite a bit in what he can do and provide them. I don't know. Have you seen anything on Chatfield? It sounded still a little up in the air with Chatfield back there. I think they miss him a lot.
Yeah, it sounds like he might be coming out. So
yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what they end up coming with. But at the end of the day, it's always going to come back to the same thing with me in Carolina. Every playoffs, they get to a point where the scoring dries up. And that's what it's been every year that they exit the playoffs. And I don't know. I'm not going to say they run out of gas. I just think that the way they play works, and it puts yourself in a good position. But when you're not getting those timely goals, and we talk about timely saves all the time and how important that is, just getting timely saves, save the right pucks, save the right shots. It's the same thing with scoring goals. Like there's certain stages in a game where that's the goal we need. And they just don't get that consistently enough. So if they're going to go out again, I think that's going to be why. It's just that they could do a lot of good things. They can control a lot of different metrics of the game. They just have a hard time getting that goal when they've been control and play for 20 minutes and it's still tied. And eventually the other team ends up biting them.
Rupper, always good to catch up. One last one. What's your thoughts on Shanahan, interviewing for the Islanders? Do you think he's going to leave Toronto?
Yeah, so I think right before we hopped on, they said that's official now with him out in Toronto.
Okay.
So that was literally, just went down. Yeah, right. He released a statement thanking for his time there. So no Brendan Shanahan back there in Toronto, and all the rumors have been. And obviously, Toronto gave permission for the New York Islanders to speak to Shanny, so I think we kind of probably saw this coming. It's hard. I personally think that I don't know what he's done to kind of just hop into another job here in that same role with the New York Islanders. I think that he has to shoulder a lot of what went on in Toronto or what didn't happen. So, but it sounds like he's going to get that opportunity to jump on with the Islanders in that same type of role. We'll see. I mean, he's going to get an opportunity there potentially, but they've got a lot of decisions to make with this first overall pick coming up, GMs and all that stuff. So we'll have to stay tuned and see what happens. I'm not totally surprised with this in Toronto. I probably thought it should have happened earlier as far as seasons ago. But here we are, and we'll see what happens if he gets that job in New York.
Well, to me, it's like the Leafs try to soften the blow of letting him go by saying, "Oh, we're going to grant permission to you to go talk to someone else." I went there. I was like, "Well, of course he's leaving. Who grants permission for someone to talk to someone else if you really want to keep him?"
100%. So those two organizations could be really interesting to see where they go from here. And but we'll see if there's any more news with Shanahan in the next 48 hours or so.
Awesome, Harper. Enjoy the game tonight, buddy.
All right, thanks, buddy. You too.
There you go. That's Mike Rupp from the NHL Network. Quick break, and you need it. After last night, you are going to need something that's going to give you a little serenity now. Is coming up next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
The month of May brings machines, mud, and for us, many an opportunity. We're GS Construction, and we love the warmer weather because it means we can get to work. But to keep things moving, we need the right people on our team. You built your skills, you know your work matters. Now's the time to bring that experience to a crew that gets it. We're hiring experienced top men and pipe layers. So if you're ready to dig in and be part of a team that has your back, apply now at gsconstruction.ca for this great opportunity.
Silent Rides is one of Alberta's premier bus charter companies. With state-of-the-art motor coaches, we provide our customers with the safest and most reliable ground transportation. Our seatbelt-equipped buses have become the preferred carrier for many local sports teams, tours, corporate outings, and other various travel across Western Canada. For more information and to request a quote, call 1-877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
Explore beyond the boundaries of capability and value during Truck Month at GMC. Right now, get 0% financing for up to 72 months on the 2025 Sierra 1500 Crew Cab Pro Graphite. With a TurboMax engine delivering 310 horsepower, GMC Pro safety features, including automatic emergency braking, plus a max towing of up to 9,500 pounds. You'll be ready for anything this Truck Month. Ask your GMC dealer for details.
The big one is here at the Brick. Big deals and even bigger savings. Score up to 25% off sofas, sectionals, and recliners. Up to 25% off TV stands, wall units, and fireplaces. And save 50% off beds when you buy 3 matching bedroom pieces. Plus, save the tax when you buy 3 major kitchen appliances. Finally, start sleeping better when you save up to 50% off select mattresses. These big deals won't last long. Some exclusions apply. See in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
I take possession of my commercial space in 3 months. I need lighting. I need a fire alarm. I need data. I need a generator. I need panels.
Sounds like a job for the men and women of Action Electrical.
Projects team reporting. We design, build, and construct all the electrical systems for your projects. Need everything to work right? Get the Action Electrical project team on your site.
Facing an electrical menace? Call the men and women of Action. Operating throughout Alberta at actionelectrical.net.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions take 1 for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Zach Hyman. Are you ready, guys?
We were born ready. Heck yes, Nuge. Drop the beat.
Legacy, Legacy.
We freaking killed it, Nuge. That's what I'm talking about, Zachary Martin Hyman.
Nice guys. We're going to sell a lot of air conditioners.
Hey, doesn't Legacy offer no payments and no interest for a year on those?
Yeah, well, thanks for the assist on the copy points there, Nuge.
It's just what I do.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
A pizza from Papa John's is already pretty great, but you know what's even better? 2 pizzas from Papa John's. For a limited time, get a medium 1-topping pizza for only $6 when you order any large specialty pizza at regular price. The works, the meats. Pick your favorite specialty pizza and get even more delicious Papa John's to enjoy. Whether you're feeding your family, your team, or yourself, get your next meal from your locally owned and operated Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Hey everyone, it's Brent Fullerton from Carefree RV. In recent years, we have seen a huge shift towards first-time buyers in our showroom. This has left us with a major shortage of trade-ins and used product on our lot. We are currently in need of quality used RVs. If you would like to sell or consign your RV, please call or text us at 780-438-2008 or visit us at carefreerv.ca.
Your cooperator's advisor can help find farm insurance that meets your specific needs. Like the, I know all 217 acres like the back of my hand plan. Talk to a local advisor today about how you can get personalized farm insurance from a company founded by farmers.
Looking for a local cooperator's advisor? Give Camrose Insurance Financial Solutions a call at 780-672-9251 and see the difference a personalized plan makes. Cooperators, investing in your future together.
Hi, my name.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Japa is digging deep on their 50-year history of supporting Alberta's construction industry with their line of special edition blackout excavators. Visit japamachinery.com for all the details.
Hat-tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
So remember that we had Sal on the show yesterday, of course, who has brokered a lot of the deals for pro sports teams in North America. Well, the Boston Celtics, Aditya Mittal is likely going to be the second largest stakeholder of the Celtics now, as they got a $1 billion investment for that. Oh man, the price of sports teams is going absolutely through the roof. I always wonder if you can spend $1 billion bucks on a protein. How much could you spend to help others? Just an idea. I'd be curious. I'd be very curious. Anyway, welcome back to the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Sports 1440, Sports1440.ca, and it's Thirsty Thursday. Some of you might have been able to use this last night, or even LT earlier. Although the Jays did come back and win, so LT's probably in a little bit better mood. He was pretty salty leaving the studio today when Hoffman blew the lead in the 9th inning. Kind of like the Oilers last night, kind of like the Knicks yesterday. There seems to be a little bit of blown leads lately. We'll get to Thirsty Thursday, brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor. 2 locations, the OG, St. Albert Trail, 118th Avenue, and of course on the southeast side on 50th Street and 92nd Ave. Stop in. They got a wide selection of everything you want, from wine, cocktails, beers, and of course a huge array of non-alcoholics and all those choices. So check it out at Sherbrooke Liquor. David Owens joins us once again. Dave, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, thanks.
You you're like low tide. You're a little rattled after the game last night.
Ooh, man, that was something. I got to tell you, my poor dog. I keep talking about my dog all the time. I got to bring in a picture in one of these days, but he just sits there and he stares at me. He's so worried about how I'm feeling through the whole thing. He keeps, every time I make a noise, he's got to come up and see me and check in on me. It's pretty funny, but yeah, good 40 minutes.
So today, we're gonna talk about Caesars, because last week on the show we had lots of input where we're talking about Caesars, and I've had a vodka Caesar, I've never tried a gin Caesar, and you actually brought in a few other ones. So what are we doing first today?
So we've got we're gonna do this clam slam of Caesar tastings here. So the first one we're doing here is just a classic crusher. It's the vodka Caesar.
Yep.
I've made all these relatively the same. Just a simple clamato juice, a couple of dashes of hot sauce, and a few dashes of Worcestershire with a celery salt rim there, and garnished with the celery. So just a classic vodka Caesar.
Yeah.
That's the way you go.
So does vodka go better with the celery?
I think vodka goes better with celery. Vodka's a tasteless kind of thing.
Yeah.
Celery also kind of a tasteless thing. It's just a nice crunchy little snack.
What about I see some with beans and stuff? Like that, I know, and I see actually we got a few of them, but do you find does one vegetable go better with a certain type?
I think it depends on the certain type. So you'll see as we go through here today, we've changed up the garnishes as we go.
Yeah. So I got the celery for the vodka.
Got the celery for the vodka.
Okay. And it tastes honestly tastes like a normal. Now, there's certain because of this of the clamato.
Yeah.
Does it matter what vodka you're using?
I don't think it matters what vodka you're using, really. Like, honestly, and say we're not even going to talk about what kind of spirit I put in there today. What brand it is, because a lot of time in that vodka, especially, vodka's vodka. It's tasteless. It shouldn't be a part of the real show of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, when you move into gin, however, that's where you can start changing some things up.
All right.
And so in a gin, we have used the Anoka with that today. And so it's a little bit of citrus and juniper-y. And to go along with that, we changed our salt rim to the more classic Mott's Caesar salt rim. So it's got some little extra action there. And we paired it with a cucumber. And that nice softness of the cucumber just really settles in nicely with the herbaceousness and citrusness of the gin.
It is infinitely more flavorful than a vodka Caesar.
Amazingly more flavorful.
Like, it's not even close. It's like I'm drinking totally two different drinks. I've never tried a gin. Now, you mentioned, so is that salt a little bit hotter?
That sauce a little bit hotter.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. The first one is just basic Caesar salt or celery salt. This one's got a little more action to it. So, and the beauty with gin too is, as you remember from last week, we tried 4 different gins with 4 different flavor profiles. So you could make 4 different style.
Oh, the Indian gin, baby.
The Indian
have a few
gin,
people stop in. I had
amazing.
Oh, it's unreal. So if you miss it, you should do it. So that's the gin. And I have to say, like, I've had Caesars in my life, vodka.
Yep.
After trying this one, I don't think I'd ever have a vodka Caesar again.
I don't know.
I find this is way better.
It is. And Caesars are the most popular. It's probably the most popular drink in Canada. There's over 400 million Caesars get sold every year.
What?
In Canada.
Wow.
That's 1 million Caesars a day. More than 1 million Caesars a day are getting drank. Crazy, eh? And so, they are the most popular. And so gin is just a killer variation of it. And it's the beauty of this drink, I think, is that it is so different. There's so many different things you can do.
Yeah. So now I'll be honest, I got some trepidation here.
Oh yeah, we're going to the Smoky Bandit now.
Is that what it's called?
No,
So
that's what we're going to call it today anyways.
Mezcal, which on its own is tough enough.
Yeah, so we moved into a mezcal here, which is it's similar to a tequila style, but it's a lot more earthy, smoky, complex.
And so should I drop these condiments, not to the but do I drop them in or do I leave the garnish on the
So
top?
that is the beauty of the Caesar. Also, you do whatever the heck you want, man. You want to drop it in,
Oh
mix
my
it in
God.
there,
See, I'm a pansy.
savor it later.
I am a pansy for hot. I could just I'm getting nervous just looking at
So
it right
I
now.
didn't add any extra spice to it. It's
Okay.
just the mezcal that's in there.
God, when you smell it though, like ever since you taught, my wife was bugging me because I had people over and I was like, no, you guys got to taste the drink, you got to smell it, take a sip, but leave your mouth open.
Yeah.
And then what are you doing? I said, just do it.
Just
and they're
do it,
like,
yeah.
oh man, I can taste it. It's totally different for anybody out there. You want to know what if you're gonna like a drink? Do the David Owen special. Take a sip, sniff, but have your mouth open when you do it.
Your mouth open when you're sniffing, yeah. So this one we've rimmed it with Tajin as well, which
Tajin,
which is it's a fantastic using a lot of Mexican stuff, and it's a little more of a lime, a little bit of heat to it, and just a light bit of salt.
I don't know if it's as hot as the gin salt.
No, it's
No,
not.
no.
It's very different. More
Yeah.
of, like I said, more of a it's not it's complementing, it's letting the mezcal speak through more so than the
Like
Mhm.
mezcal on its own, I'm not a big, but in there, I'm like, ooh, it's.
and so we've garnished that with a bean also and some
I
pickled
love the
jalapenos.
I love the bean on the. On
And the pickled jalapenos,
Anybody watching?
they are mild ones. I bought mild. They didn't want to freak anybody out.
Trust me, I'm soft. I totally admit it when it comes to like if there was any sort of spicy competition, Gregor's out. Gregor is not getting past like step one.
Ugh.
Soft at it, very soft.
And you wouldn't have won any competitions in my old keg kitchen days.
No, God, no. There's no chance. I wouldn't even step to the plate.
There you go.
Right, I'd just be like, I'm striking out. I'm not even swinging. I'm out. Right, hit by pitch. Get me out of here.
Yeah.
Now this
Beauty.
is unique because I've never even heard of a rye Caesar.
Here we go. The Northern Rebel, we're going to call this one. Yeah. So,
So what's the garnish here though?
So the garnish on there, we've got a
Ooh.
little pork sausage on there. We've got just a dill pickle. We got a
Yeah,
bean.
I
We
gotta
got
show. I gotta show this. Like this garnish looks pretty sweet.
we got the whole thing going on
Yeah.
there. Mess around with it a little bit too. So this one's going to be a little bit more sweet, spicy, rich, and the rim around this, we've got a sort of a blend of Montreal steak spice.
Okay.
And a
I love
maple bacon, candied bacon spice.
Oh, this is gonna be sweet then.
And so it's going to go with that sweet, spicy richness of the rye that's in there.
Well, it smells very smoky when
Yes.
I go to drink it. Oh yeah, like that's the smoky rye.
You're getting a lot of that right off the rim itself, off that smoky bacon piece in there, and then you get those accoutrements with it, the garnishes.
Like I have to say, I cannot believe, and I'm sorry, vodka Caesar people, but how lame the vodka Caesar is compared to these other three. Like it's not even close.
That's right, not even close.
Not even close. Like I would never have a vodka Caesar again. I'm like, why? Like there's no flavor to it after you taste the gin, the mezcal, and even this rye one. Oh.
All different. And the beauty of it is you can play around with it to your taste. So, I like when I make mine at home, I like to put a little bit of horseradish in mine.
Okay.
And get it up to heat a little bit and get some
Yeah.
of that going. I like to use a green hot sauce in mine also. Brings a bit of a different flavor profile to it. I like to play. Yeah, there's all sorts of things you can play around with it. And you see some places they get crazy, man. You see like full meals on top
Yeah,
of
I've
the
seen
Caesar,
that,
right?
yeah.
Burgers and shrimp and things like that. But again, it's the beauty of food pairing and pairing with the beverage. And it is widely regarded as one of the best recovery drinks of all time.
Well, I think it's Clamato. Honestly, I have a beer and clam when I'm hungover, and I find it's like literally I have one. I'm like, all right, there's got to be something in the Clamato that's got some energy or booster or something. Because I find if I have a beer and clam, it is instant. Like it's not like I'm sprinting and doing, but right away I'm like, oh, the fog kind of gets lifted.
And for me, I also
Caesars,
love
I
beer
can
and
see why
clam.
people do it.
But I do mine a beer Caesar. So I also add in, when I'm doing my beer and clam, I add in the hot sauce, I add in the Worcestershire, I add in my horseradish.
So you'll make it a beer
I'll make it
Caesar.
beer Caesar. Yeah.
And
Delicious.
you so instead you just don't mix in any gin or vodka, you just make Caesar and a beer.
Yeah. Half a beer and fill the rest of the pint glass with
Now
Clamato.
with the garnish, if I were to take the toothpick out and I leave the pickle and the sausage in, and I soak it for a bit, is it going to change the flavor?
It'll totally, absolutely, it'll add to the flavor to it, and it'll slowly adjust and taste. It changes as you go along.
Yeah.
So some people like to get at their snacks right away. Other people I like to put mine in there and let it soak in a little bit.
Now, what about tequila Caesars?
Yeah, so tequila Caesar would be really similar to the mezcal one, just not quite as smoky. A little bit more, get a little bit more of that blue agave coming through, the sweeter parts of those things.
Is there now? If I had to pick one, because Gregor, which one would? The gin one. Now, maybe it's because I got the gin right after the vodka, and it was the gin. I just found it, but the mezcal, surprisingly to me, I will say though, the salt on the rye.
Yeah.
And so that's going to change it too. But the salt on the rye one really seemed to grab my attention.
Yeah.
What was that salt again?
So I used a blend of a maple and bacon spice with just Montreal steak spice mixed it together.
And because it was smoky, yeah, like it. And I'm not a big fan of the smoke smell, but I like the taste of this.
Yeah, the taste of it.
Yeah.
And so, and it's different, it's a different smoke than a campfire smoke, right?
I still might put that gin number 1 though, with that cucumber, man.
Gin's
God,
it's refreshing.
It is very refreshing.
Right? We're going to be hot this weekend. It's getting up to, 30 degrees or something like that. You need a gin Caesar.
Yeah. I honestly, for anybody out now, do you recommend we have any gins at Sherbrooke to go in the Caesar?
Yeah. Again, I think, going with something that's like citrusy is a great gin to go with it. We had that Empress last week as well. That Empress, just to play with the color a little bit, things like that would be fun in there as well. A little bit floral. That'll be great with that cucumber in there as well, that floral piece. But anything more citrusy and like that engine oil engine was super citrusy, and that sage that goes in there would also go really great with that Clamato.
Before we go, I want to read this. Hey guys, as a resident of the Sherbrooke neighborhood, one of the best things about Sherbrooke liquor is that they are super dog friendly. From Tim. Oh,
also true. Yeah.
All the dog bone in there.
They all know where the treats are. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
People get dragged in straight to the dog treats before they even get into the cooler sometimes. So.
Yeah. Now we have a lot of hangover experts text in. Hey guys, it's because of the high sodium content would be dehydrated from the hangover. Pickle juice does the same. From Kim in St. Albert. Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, and you're having a pickle with it as a garnish. That's going to help out as well, right?
Yeah, so we're gonna cure hangover remedy in one fell swoop.
That's right.
Beer, Clamato, pickle.
It doesn't matter whether you're celebrating the night before or lamenting a horrible loss.
Yeah,
you got the fix the next morning.
Yeah, some of these people could have used it last one. So. Now, what was that Injun gin called again?
Yeah, Injun.
It's just called Injun.
Yeah, Injun Organic.
Yeah, Bobby, Injun Organic gin, just for the can itself, but the taste was actually fantastic too.
Yeah, beautiful. Really citrusy with that sage forward.
I highly recommend it. But trust me, go get it just for the can for the first time. And when I say can, it's a can. It looks like the old engine oil from like 1984.
Yeah, when we were kids, right?
Oh, fantastic. So yeah, check it out. You can only really get it at Sherbrooke Liquor. Go in and just ask for the Injun Gin. I'm telling you, if you want to try gin, and you can just do a splash of soda with it, but maybe mix it in with the Caesar.
That's right.
It'll be good. Dave, great stuff, buddy. The Oilers coming back tomorrow?
They're going to come back. I think they played really, really well. I think, Leon said it himself. He knows they got to be more mature. They got to be better than that. I think as you said earlier, they're a resilient group. They started to figure this stuff out. They dominated that first 40 minutes.
Yeah. And then their special teams. So, their penalty kill. Well, it would help not taking 3 penalties in 6 minutes. That would start.
Yeah.
And then you got to make a kill. You got to get a save. You got to get some blocks. There's a lot of things that have to happen. We'll see if they can find their game for 60 minutes tomorrow night. Awesome stuff, Dave. Thanks, man. We'll talk to you next Thursday.
Right on. Thank you.
There you go. That's David Owens from Sherbrooke Liquor. When we come back, Terry Ryan will join us. We got Jeff Merrick, Livingston, and more in a busy hour number 2 on the Jason Gregor Show. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. As we get to the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. They are hiring. You want to work for a fantastic company, get a hiring bonus, you get RSP matching, tuition reimbursement, and a very competitive wage. LegacyHeating.ca.
The Sports 1440 update.
Brendan Shanahan's time with the Toronto Maple Leafs is over. The team announced that his contract will not be renewed after 11 seasons with the organization. Reports emerged on Wednesday that the New York Islanders had approached the Leafs for permission to speak to Shanahan about their lead executive vacancy. In the NHL tonight, you got the Canes taking on the Panthers. Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Final. That gets going just after 6 o'clock. Florida leading 1-0 there. In the association, the Thunder can take a 2-0 series lead, and they meet the Timberwolves at 6:30. And at the IIHF World Championships, Denmark scored twice to shock Canada 2-1. Semifinals go Saturday with Sweden taking on the U.S. and Switzerland up against Denmark. Major League Baseball, Blue Jays winning today in extras over the Padres 7-6. sweeping their series right now. You got the Athletics on top of the Angels 3-2, and the Rockies at home trail the Phillies 2-0. PWHL Game 2 of the league final goes tonight between the Frost and the Charge. Ottawa currently leading 1-0 in their best of 5. Puck drop just after 5 o'clock. And the Stingers out in Saskatoon for a meeting with the Rattlers. That gets going at 7:30. You can watch it on TSN+. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by our co-host Terry Ryan, Jeff Merrick from The Sheet, and we'll speed things up in the Cantorg Racing Report with Colin Livingston. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
If you bleed orange and blue and you're not using the all-new Play Alberta Sports and Casino app, then you're missing out. It's the only online sportsbook with odds boosts on all Oilers games. And now, it's not just sports. Play the slots, hit the tables, buy lottery tickets, all in one app, all across Alberta. Download Play Alberta now from your phone's app store and use promo code GOAL for a $100 bonus. That's promo code GOAL!
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey, Culligan. I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
Are you and what?
Make my water talk.
Welcome.
No, but
to the Jason Gregor
Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at culligan.ca.
The deals
Find the perfect tractor for any job at Edmonton Kubota. Their massive selection of compact tractors has something for everyone, whether you're tackling small tasks or big projects. And right now, take advantage of 0% financing for up to 72 months. It's never been easier to get the power and reliability you need. Come down to Edmonton Kubota today and drive away with a tractor that's just right for you. Edmonton Kubota, where your perfect tractor awaits.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions take one for Gene Principe. Hey, thanks for being on time.
I'm always punctual. Now, how about some cool beats while I drop the heat?
Ready when you are.
Tall legacy, tall legacy.
Nice.
Boom! I'm a musical genius.
Legacy's going to love this for AC season.
What's not to love with no
You're
interest to no Principe payments for 1 year?
Are you always like this?
Yep. Unlike Legacy, I never know when to cool it.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
The locks are on.
Sure, Brooke.
Going to get coated.
Liquor. Sure.
Thank you.
There you go.
Electrical. Service team reporting. With the remarkable reach of our bucket trucks and other equipment, we assess, service, and maintain your electrical lighting and automation systems.
Facing an electrical menace? Call the men and women of Action. Operating throughout Alberta at actionelectrical.net.
Dang. Last season, you bought new clubs to fix your game. You spent the entire season trying to learn how to hit with your magic clubs. And guess what? Dang. They didn't help your game. Now you're convinced it's your swing, but it really is your clubs. Even though you were told the ones you bought were the best ever made, if they were, you would have gotten better. Every day at Fitted Golf, we continue to prove the right clubs make all the difference in the world. From beginners to pros, Fitted Golf makes all the difference.
Yes.
FittedGolf.ca.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 Triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the two best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
Spring has arrived at Cross Mitsubishi, and the incredible automotive deals are in full bloom. Purchase a 2025 Mitsubishi RVR at 2.99% for up to 84 months, starting as low as $21,798, or lease at 0.99% over 60 months for just $65 weekly. Trade in and save $2,000. And don't forget the exceptional 10-year, 160,000-kilometer warranty. See Cross Mitsubishi in-store for details. 9605 34th Ave and at crossmitsubishi.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. The team in Old Strathcona have special training dedicated to reducing the impact of cancer care before, during, and after your diagnosis. From lymphedema to the management of fatigue and side effects of chemotherapy and radiation, they can help. Learn more at leadingedgephysio.com.
Tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Of course, also the app. You can download us. Big News Canada is out of the World Championships. I know Canadians don't care about the World Championships as much, and I get it. I understand it. Right? Hey, but the players that are there, they want to win. They didn't win. Denmark, how about former Oiler Patrick Russell with 2 assists? And Denmark scores the winner with 49 seconds left. And they will move on. Taking on, Switzerland, U.S. and Finland in the other semifinals. So the Swiss or the Danes. Oh, the Danes. Who wouldn't want to see them go in just for the storyline? That'd be fantastic. So see where it goes. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley with you, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram, as we welcome in Terry Ryan as we go in the room, brought to you by Action Electrical, one of Alberta's most diversified electrical contractors. You got projects, you got service, you got tech. They'll help you all. And, of course, for solar, check it out, actionelectrical.net, as we welcome in TR. TR, welcome to the show, my man. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Got my website up and running, terryryan.ca, and I will be, for those interested, and I will be in Calgary tomorrow through Sunday. We're raising some money for the Alzheimer's Foundation, the Gordie Howe Pro-Am Cancer Classic. It's going to be at the Flames Community Arenas. So if you'd like to come have a chat, there's a bunch of former NHLers going to be there, like 20 of us, I believe. And, it's going to be a nice event. We're going to try to raise as much money as possible. So if you're in the area, by all means, pop by.
Does Terry Ryan your website? Do you have like a picture segment? Is this like all young pictures of TR up there? Is that what you're going to have on this?
I like where your head's at. That's coming. There are some pictures right now. You can order. I got some merchandise made up, some T-shirts, some hoodies. I got some from my dad too. Terry Ryan Senior is quite popular. I got books. You want to book me for an event, book a video, things like that. Tried to put it all in one area because I do have someone helping me now, but one person. But I'm not a huge organization, so it's good to have it all in one spot, and people, I guess, know where to find me.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Let's talk about the Oilers last night, TR, because for 40 minutes, things look pretty good. Edmonton's playing very well. And then bingo, bango, bongo, they can't kill a penalty to save their life. They're taking some bad penalties. And suddenly in a span of 5:26, Dallas scores 3 power play goals. And they overcome a 2-goal deficit to lead 4-3. It was Leon Draisaitl, I thought, said it well. We got to be more mature than that. Corey Perry can't take that penalty. Kane's penalty, not in love. But, Janmark's in the shooting lane. You got to block the shot. I think Skinner's got to make a save on the 4th goal. Just a lot of things went wrong in a short period of time.
We often talk about momentum and mistakes. And honestly, that first 40 minutes, they were flying. Right into Dallas isn't an easy environment. And they were flying. I thought there's no way that they can lose this. The game's in control. But you see that, like you said, three penalties pretty quick. And it just immediately unravels, right? Like it just unravels because a lot of mistakes came out of that, right? So you take a penalty, you start sitting back a little bit. I mean, everybody, if they weren't, a couple of them were not terrible goals on Skinner. He could have played a little bit better. People, yeah, like you said, in the lanes, like Janmark, if you're going to go there, you got to get a piece of that, or else, and it wasn't just him, I think a couple more, but like, you're blocking the lane. Like, this is stuff that it's not a glaring giveaway in the last 10 seconds kind of mistake, but it just unraveled. And from there, and they were out of position a little bit, and they're not that kind of team because they've got all kinds of experience. I thought it was more, meaning I'm sure the Oilers were still comfortable. I think they were still confident. They started to get on their heels, but Dallas came at them, right? And when Dallas scored that first one, and now you got like 18 minutes to get the next one, you get a penalty. It's just, you could see what was happening. And the thing is, yes, Edmonton certainly made some mistakes, and the layers of the onion just came peeling away, but Dallas also really knew how to jump on that, and they did. And they had a couple times where Dallas big hits that, weren't penalties. Like, they really, because, it's not only Edmonton having to take the penalties, Dallas have to capitalize, and they also have to remain disciplined themselves. So I give them a bit of credit too. I mean, they turned it on, and you knew it wasn't going to be an easy ride. If I'm the Oilers, am I worried? No. If anything, I know that the last 20 minutes pretty much did it to ourselves. I think Edmonton lost that more than Dallas won, if that makes any sense.
It does, but to me, the concern is, Dallas feels, hey, we can play better, right? Matt Duchene said it, hey, it's a good feeling when you don't give your A game and you win. And of course, that's true. And you know what? The margins are thinner when the two teams are even. Now, funny enough, overall in the NHL, teams who lose game one of a series, especially on the road, you only win about 25% of the time. But in the conference finals, in the salary cap era, teams are 10 and 11, right? Like, it's almost flip a coin still. It's almost 500. So that part, I guess, is good. And they're good teams, obviously. So they have the ability to come back. But like, I look at Edmonton, and in the Stanley Cup final, they're up 3-0 in game one against Carolina. They lost. They end up losing the series in 7. You look at game one against Florida. Now, they got shut out. They actually played well. They couldn't score, and they lost. And sometimes, like, when you give away a game, when you play well, you're like, God, I just wonder if it stings more. So in a weird way, well, I'm not worried. I do think Edmonton now, you got to play better because you've already kind of given away one game.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. And this used to wreak havoc on my brain when I was a player. I used to dissect each loss and go, God, if we just did that differently, we would have won like handily, and we just gave them a game. Now we got to win 5 and they got to win 3. Like, I used to think like that. But first of all, if I'm the Oilers,
just to clarify for people who don't know, when TR is in the dub, they used to have best of 9. So that's why I said you got to win 5.
Yeah, true enough, man. Not everybody realizes that. And that, yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. We should have a segment on that sometime.
Yeah, we should.
But so if I'm the Oilers, though, when you mentioned like historically the analytics, but again, I'm not looking at that if I'm the Oilers, because the Oilers almost use that to their advantage in a twisted way. I mean, think of the way they started the last 2 seasons. And at the beginning of last season, it was to the point that we were going, oh my God, well, only 5% of the time someone that goes 3-12 or whatever it is gets it. But, the Oilers never really fazed them. They might have gotten upset. I don't really think they thought they weren't going to make it. They just got together. Same thing. And it's individual players even. At the beginning of this year, I think it was, Hyman wasn't scoring much, for example, right? Connor Brown last year went like 30 games, I think, like without getting a goal. Like, but you're out there, you're looking at the evidence. And guys like Hyman, man, he's hitting. I think he had 11 or 12 last night. Like, and he understands the assignment. I think they all understand the assignment. Corey Perry, 9 out of 10, is going to piss that guy off in front and draw a penalty. But it was just bad timing. And everybody, like I said, momentum is real. It's real, man. In the Stanley Cup playoffs, where it rides on so much emotion, it's very, very real. And I think it got away from them from that point. But the Oilers, as a team and as individuals, often go in with their back against the wall, but end up coming out on top. So they know they played better for the majority of the game too. That's not lost on them, right?
Yeah, no, that's fair. The Florida Carolina one. We'll get to that, TR, when we return. Jason Gregor, Terry Ryan, Sports 1440. Jeff Merrick will join us next. Shanahan is out. We'll get to that and more on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. It is Thursday, and that's the Daily Grand. Your chance to win $1,000 a day for the next 20 years. $7.3 million. Get your tickets at PlayAlberta.ca.
Are you looking for safe and professional travel options? Look no further than Silent Rides, one of Alberta's premier bus charter companies. Whether your group is big or small, Silent Rides has you covered. We offer state-of-the-art motor coaches, first-class service, and affordable rates. Get your quote today. For more information, call 1-877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
April showers brought huge deals to Wolf GMC Buick. It's truck month all of May, and we froze our prices on in-stock inventory to save you money. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on some of our most popular Sierra pickups, or select up to $8,000 off on these amazing trucks. If you're in need of an SUV, good news, we have a great selection of Buicks and GMCs. Plus, Costco members may be eligible for an additional $1,200 discount. What are you waiting for? Spring into Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Wow, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Hey, Alberta, the all-new Play Alberta app is here. Casino, sports betting, lottery, all in one app, right on your phone. And because it's Play Alberta, you know it's safe, secure, and reliable. Download it now and play over 500 online casino games, live dealer tables, and unique games you'll love. Plus, bet on sports from anywhere in the province. You in? Download Play Alberta now from your phone's app store and deposit using promo code OIL for a $100 casino bonus on the house. That's promo code OIL for a $100 casino bonus.
Mr. Rooter hits the gym.
As a new Mr. Rooter plumber, you get access to our company gym.
Nice. Where's the equipment?
Over here, we have a variety of tight pickle jars. Open those up to work out your pipe wrenching muscles. We've got your standard weighted plungers and over here, a pipe wrench.
Why is that guy forcing his body into a suitcase?
He's getting limber. A good plumber must be able to fit under any sink.
For a plumber who always works out, call Mr. Rooter.
Experience more at the Edmonton Expo Center. Come for Canada's largest trade show, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. Stay for the experience. But it doesn't end there. Maximize your brand exposure with Edmonton Expo Center's new cutting-edge feature screens, spanning Western Canada's largest venue space. Captivate an annual audience of over 1 million visitors during iconic events like Pro Rodeo, Disney on Ice, Glow, K-Days, and so much more. To learn more, call 780-660-0514 or visit EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique family-owned independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Your cooperator's advisor can help find home and auto insurance that are uniquely you. Like the, I sure do love a great deal, and that's why I bundled my home and auto insurance plan. Talk to a local advisor today and save up to 15% when you bundle home and auto insurance that are just right for you.
Looking for a local cooperator's advisor? Give Camrose Insurance Financial Solutions a call at 780-672-9251 and see the difference a personalized plan makes. Cooperators, investing in your future together.
Imagine a family get-together where the smiles are as genuine as the conversations. That's the feeling you get at Nisku Ford. a family-owned dealership where finding a new Ford feels just like catching up with old friends.
Stop by the showroom throughout May for rebates as high as $11,500 or choose 0% financing. And make sure you take advantage of pre-tariff pricing while supplies last.
The coffee's on, so drive into Nisku Ford or visit niskuford.ca today. Above expectations.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor. Sherbrooke is a house of curiosities, a mom and pop, a curated experience that is equal parts wine tastings and 2 4s for May long. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$325. Welcome back, Jason Gregor. Connor Halley, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you're having a lovely, lovely Thursday. I do like this one. Oh, man, it's so funny. Came in from Joey. Hey, fellas, Oilers lose. Now Canada loses to Denmark. Positive Friday can't get here fast enough. From Joey. Hey, you know what? I get it. It's positive Friday. Oilers can't lose on a positive Friday, can they, Oilers fans? Be sacrilegious, I would think.
By the way, I didn't know this. This is news to me. I've been busy all day because I'm leaving, and I had to do my podcast earlier. Wayne Primo tomorrow, by the way. But I didn't know, Tales with TR, I did not know that Canada lost to Denmark. Like, what?
Yeah, dude, it just
what
happened.
are we talking about here?
Yeah, they scored with 49 seconds left. Hey, buddy, you can't slow down Patrick Russell, former Oiler, 2 assists in the game.
What do you mean they scored with a minute left? How was it not already 10-0?
Well, Denmark's better now. They're the host team, buddy. They had the crowd singing and chanting. You know, it was like TR was singing karaoke the whole night, and people were on their feet.
I am absolutely astounded. There's a lot to unpack with you telling me with that powerhouse that they went over there with, that they just lost to Denmark.
Yeah,
I get it that they scored with a minute left, but how did Canada not fill the net before that?
Well, it's a tough one, man. Switzerland and Denmark. One of them's going to the gold medal because they're.
What was the score? 6-5? 1-0? What?
2-1.
2-1. 60 minutes in Canada. The puck dropped. A regular amount of time went by. 60-minute game. Same rules. Same everything. The ice is a little bit bigger. And Canada only had 1 goal. I find that absolutely bizarre.
Yeah, I'll have to look up the stats to see what the shots and stuff
was. It must have been 80-10 shots on net, was it? And the goalie stood on his head?
No, they brought back Nikolai Ehlers, man. You can't.
There's nothing you can tell me that.
Cons has got the numbers for us. Then we'll get to Merrick.
Yeah, shots were 40-33 for Canada.
All right.
Denmark had 22 shots in the third period.
Oh, buddy. They just took it to him, TR.
Penalties? Okay, but something happened. 3 5-minute majors in a row?
Canada must have been out partying, TR. You know how it is at the Worlds. You guys have a little fun.
I don't. Struds does, though. Oh, no, he knows the Spengler, does he?
Yeah, he knows the Spengler. Yeah. Let's go talk around the NHL. Brought to you by McDonald's. And right now, baby, the best tasting coffee. Only $1. They lowered their prices. You can get a small coffee for only $1. Great coffee must be McCafe. Only at McDonald's. As Jeff Merrick, host of The Sheet, dailyfaceoff.com, joins us. And I don't think there's any truth to the rumor that Jeff is going to be headlining the hot stove for what's wrong with Canadian hockey after the loss today.
Oh, no, start the summit. I love the, by the way, Jason, TR, great to hear your voices again, you beautiful people. I love the World Championship. Now, I've never been, I've always wanted to go. I've always been working, haven't had a chance to go, but every year I watch this thing, and to me, it's like a great perspective check. You know, in North America, we have all this anxiety about hockey, specifically in Canada, and this is going to do nothing to calm that down. I look at the World Championship, and the Latvians are the best. Like, to me, Latvian fans are the best in the world. They win, they lose, they don't care. They're just there to party and have fun. They sing, they chant, they got scarves, they're having a great time, they're partying with everybody. To me, like, one of the great things at the end of the season is that when I watch the World Championship, despite some of the results, I always remind myself that this is just supposed to be fun, that this is hockey we're playing, and these people in the crowd, like, they're not anxious and nervous and twisting themselves into emotional pretzels. They're there to watch some guys play hockey and have a good time and have a few beers along the way. I just love this time of year. The Stanley Cup is intense and focused and dynamic, and the World Championships is just one big party. I love it.
It is a big party, no question. Now, speaking of twisting themselves into a pretzel, Oiler fans a little upset, as were the Oiler players. They had that game in control for 40 minutes, and then did they lay an egg on the special teams in the first 6 minutes of the third period? And boom, a game that you had complete control. They turn it around. Now, I looked up the numbers, and funny enough, in the conference finals, in the salary cap era, did you know that the team who starts on the road in the series has won actually more games? They're 22 wins and 16 losses. When they lose game one, they are 10 and 11, and then when they win on the road, they're 12 and 5. So teams, the road teams, actually, funny enough, the lower seeds during the salary cap era are 22 and 16.
It's funny going, and I was at the Scotiabank Arena on Sunday. I took my two boys to Game 7, the Panthers and Toronto Maple Leafs, and it was amazing how many Panthers players said for like a high pressure situation. The Game 1 is a high pressure situation too, not as much as a Game 7. All those Panthers guys were saying it's better on the road. Like there's less stress away from home. So maybe that shouldn't surprise anybody, although logically it sort of flies in the face of a lot of common reasons. Listen, if I'm an Oilers fan, I do not overreact to that whatsoever, not at all. That was 40 minutes. Like, we didn't see a hockey game last night, guys. We saw two. We saw two separate hockey. We saw the Oilers absolutely dominate the Dallas Stars to the point where I'm always a big fan of the cutaway shots, right? Like after a goal is scored, the cutaway to the coach. And Pete DeBoer has that. Like, I love Pete's look. Pete has that, jacket unbuttoned, and he's got like, a button undone on the shirt. The tie's a little bit low. He's kind of got that, it's getting close to last call look about him. It's a great look. I just love it. And, yesterday after Bouchard scores, and he takes like 4 uncontested strides towards the net. Who does that 5-on-5 this deep into the playoffs? But there it was. Bouchard scores. They do the cutaway to the coach, and he's beside himself. Like, he doesn't know who these players are. Like, am I coaching the Dallas Stars? Like, who are we all of a sudden? And then 3 unfortunate penalties by the Edmonton Oilers, and we have a completely different game. I know the penalty kill has been an issue for the Oilers. We know the Dallas Stars power play has been dynamic. If I'm an Oilers fan, though, I am not overreacting to this one. If you want to play the game of, it doesn't matter how many goals you score in a period, you win the period, you win the period. Oilers won 2 periods, Dallas won 1, but Dallas escaped to the 1-0 series. That's how I would look at it.
TR?
Jeff, the Winnipeg Jets, I mean,
yes, sir.
I think most people would say it was a successful season. What do you think would be their number one priority in the off season, or if any?
Well, I think you have to figure out, Jason just mentioned Nick Ehlers a second ago, what's happening there. And if he is indeed on his way out, and it very much does look like it's trending that direction, I think you need to look at replacing the production that you're losing with Nick Ehlers. Now, I know he isn't someone that necessarily Scott O'Neill or before him Rick Bowness played a lot. Like, I think if you look at the minutes that Nick Ehlers played, I think it's only like 7th or 8th on the team, which is always astounding to me considering, the speed this guy has in his lineup, how much he can push the defense back on zone entries, and how he can create that space under the blue line once he pushes the D back. But if I'm the Winnipeg Jets, first of all, I'm not making many moves, TR. I am concerned about production on the wing, but that might be a move that I would look at making. The other one, I'll tell you, one of the concerns, TR, going into the playoffs for me, and we saw this at various times, most specifically in the St. Louis series, I wondered if Winnipeg's blue line was big enough.
Yes.
Jason and I have talked about this before. Like, we talked about this a couple of times, right, Jason? Like, do they have enough monsters back there? Like, they have an elite player in Josh Morrissey, obviously. There's a reason they brought in Luke Shen, had some size and physicality to that back end. The one thing that I wonder about, and it's not as important in the regular season as it is in the playoffs, is the back end just too small? And maybe I'm just sort of too nostalgic for Dustin Byfuglien, but I think something really changed with the Winnipeg Jets when Dustin Byfuglien pieced out, and I don't know if they've ever gotten over it. And he was like one of the biggest luxury items you can have. A big guy like that can move and can produce and can, force teams to keep their head up. I would honestly, TR, I would look at trying to add, I know every team will want to do this, I would try to look at adding more size to the back end. I really would.
No, that's a good point. Now, listen, I'm to save you from having to unpack the dreadful last game for the Toronto Maple Leafs and anything that's going to happen in the offseason. Because I'm sure you've done that 5,000 times, as many people across Canada and the world have at this point. But there's something that not a lot of people are talking about, at least not to my ears so far. And I'm kind of concerned if I'm a Leafs Nation, part of Leafs Nation. Austin Matthews came into the season hurt. He admitted that. I don't know why you wouldn't just take 3 or 4 months off at the beginning and be ready for the end. But if it still hurts, and we're going back 2 or 3 years, he doesn't really tell you what it is. Maybe it's 2 different injuries. Maybe it's 5 different injuries. Maybe it's the same injury. How concerning and alarming is this? Because, the guy's pretty important to the Toronto Maple Leafs.
It's, it has the potential to be massive. Like, I share your concern, TR, about, if he's injured to start the season, why not take the time off? But again, like I'll tell you, TR, like, I really get uncomfortable playing doctor in these situations because I just don't know. And I hate speculating about someone else's health. We know that there's something, but until we know what it is it chronic wrist? Is it back? Is it neck? Is it, I think there are just some things like, TR, you played. I'm sure there wasn't a day that you didn't feel something when you're out there, or you woke up in the morning and you didn't feel something, but you said to yourself, you know what? It hurts, but I can play through it. And I know that it's going to hurt all season long. I'll deal with it in the off season. I don't know if that's the situation with Matthews, that it's just something that he's going to have to learn to deal with, as opposed to this is something that you can. So I just, is it concerning? Yeah. Is it alarming? Potentially. But until we know what it is, I kind of hate throwing darts at it.
I hear you. I just find it odd that he hasn't said anything, because a lot of, people at the end of the playoffs, hockey player, and it's also in hockey history, a little bit of a badge of honor sometimes, right? Like, look, I played hurt, and to not know this long in, that's why I asked the question. I figure, and it's weird that it hasn't seeped out. There's people in the room, right?
Yeah. There's, what? Hang on. That raises a really good point too. The badge of honor, right? Like, we can all look at, Patrice Bergeron. I guess the whole thing started with the Randy Jones hit so many years ago, and playing with the collapsed lung and the broken ribs and all of that. And we look at that and we're like, Spartan, like, look at that guy. This guy's nails. Like, you're right. That's become a badge of honor. It becomes that story. But these are all injuries that heal. To your previous point, I think this is where you're really onto something, TR. The fact that he's not saying what it is, I think we can make that next logical step and say, unlike a broken rib or a fracture in your foot, maybe this is something that doesn't get better. This is something that you just deal with, that you can't correct. And maybe that's the reason. Again, I'm guessing. maybe that's the reason why you don't have the come clean moment. I don't know, but it would make some sense to me.
Jeff Merrick from The Sheet joins us here on Sports 1440, Oilers Nation YouTube, Facebook, and X. Jeff, Florida, Carolina is one game, but what do you make of just like that was a pretty dominant win from Florida? Unlike Edmonton, they played the full 16, controlled it. The Svechnikov play on Bobrovsky to me is grossly cheap. He clearly went after his head. Nothing happens on it. And that's not really Carolina's game, right? Like they don't play that way. And so obviously the two things. A, what the hell is a concussion spotter doing? And then B, do you think Carolina's already rattled?
Well, Shane Gostisbehere sure looked rattled at the end of the game. Shades of Scott Niedermayer 2007 against Daniel Alfredsson prior to the puck at Brad Marchand. You know what it seemed to me, Jason? I'll tell you what. And by the way, I expect a much crisper Carolina Hurricanes team tonight. Like that was by Carolina standards, that was really sloppy. Like, that's not the Carolina Hurricanes that we're used to seeing. But nonetheless, watching Svechnikov go at Bobrovsky the way that he did, and I mean, he wasn't the only one. I mean, he was the only one that made contact with the goaltender's head. And I'm with you. I'm with you with the concussion spotter as well. You know what I kind of thought to myself? Because Carolina's like, they're going hard at the net like the whole game. I kind of thought to myself, this is Carolina saying, we know you're going to do this to Freddie at some point, so we're going to start by doing this to your guy. We're not going to be the ones that react. We're going to be the ones that initiate. You know, like if you're the Carolina Hurricanes, you're playing the Washington Capitals, you know it's going to be, a late hit or two by Tom Wilson. Brandon Duhaime is going to do something that pisses you off, and it's going to be cheap, and it's going to be late. So I wonder if this is Carolina saying, we don't want to be the ones reacting. We want to be the ones initiating here. Guys, if you're around the net, you get a chance to bump the goaltender, so be it. We know they're going to do it to ours, and I'll be watching really closely tonight. Obviously, I think we all will, to see how Florida behaves around the net. And by the way, hang on, can I ask TR something about the net? TR, I never played pro hockey. You did. I didn't take physics class any longer than grade 11. But can you explain one phenomenon to me? It seems as if during the playoffs specifically, when you put blue paint on ice, it makes players fall down. Like, does something happen to the gravity, TR, when you put blue paint on the ice? Like grade 11 physics was the most that I ever did. Can you explain the phenomenon as a player that when skates touch blue ice, players just tend to go down, sometimes even on the goalie, Terry?
Oh, yeah. It's like what Pavlov and the dog there. Yeah, you just go through there. And for some reason, you just see the blue and you just go down to at least one knee.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, right. And you often make contact.
And sometimes you make contact with the goaler. Oops, sorry, my bad. I didn't intend to do that. Oh, gee, golly gee, referee.
Jeff,
look,
I often said.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, you said that. Like, I often point to Ryan Smith, who didn't get in many fights, but he would go there like relentlessly. I know in the NHL he did it. I used to notice it in junior. He was unreal at it. He would always find a way to fall in there. Very Corey Perry, like without having people want to take his head off. He was a magician at doing that anyway. I just figured I'd point that out on Edmonton radio.
No, you know what? You're right. And Corey Perry is a great example too. I always marvel at these at NHL players. They're big, they're strong, they're well grounded, they're sturdy on the feet. You can't lift up their stick, you can't push them off the puck on a rush. Yeah, you get them around the net, and I don't know what happens. They tend to go down a little bit easier. It's a bizarre physics. Again, like this is for the physicists in the audience here, Jason. For your audience. Like, look, I'd be really curious to see how the Florida Panthers behave around Sergei Bobrovsky tonight. And I'm really curious to see, and whether it's AJ Greer or Gadjevich or Brad Marchand, if the Florida Panthers allow themselves to get distracted chasing Shane Gostisbehere around the ice tonight. We saw a little bit of it after the shot. I wonder if that carries over into game 2 tonight.
We'll see. Awesome stuff, Jeffrey. Appreciate it, man. Have a great weekend. We'll chat with you next Thursday.
Jason, always great to catch up to you. Lovely to hear your voice again, my friend.
See you, buddy.
Jeff Merrick joins us every Thursday from the sheet at dailyfaceoff.com. Quick break, and we'll return. And we got some gifts. We're going to be doing an exchange in studio next on The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Hold on to your hockey helmet, Edmonton. On the Rocks is serving up 60-cent wings that fly off the plate faster than a slap shot. And Molson Canadians for $5.25. OTR's TVs, hey, they're so clear you'll see the puck better than the ref. That ain't hard, is it? And every game night during Edmonton's playoff run, specials start 30 minutes before puck drop and last for the whole game. Be a part of the legend. See the menu at ontherocks.com.
I won't shave till we bring home the cup. And I like to do a shot for every playoff goal.
My jersey's not coming off until we're the city of champs again.
Want a playoff superstition that always wins? Pick up a bag of Wilhauk beef jerky for every game. Because when it comes to the playoffs, where there's a Wilhauk, there's a way.
Make every playoff game a Will Hockey game day with Wilhauk beef jerky. Only available in Leduc. Get yours today because you don't bring home the cup with salad.
Adventure just doesn't stumble into your life. It roars to life with Riverside Motorsports. Tearing up trails or cruising the open road. Yamaha ATVs, side-by-sides, motorcycles, and dirt bikes deliver the performance you crave. Built for thrills, ready for your next adventure. Yamaha's legendary performance and reliability take you there. Make Mother Nature your playground on a Yamaha from Riverside Motorsports. Located on St. Albert Trail. RideRiverside.com. Riverside Motorsports. What you do for fun is our business.
Playoff time on Edmonton Sports Leader, Sports 1440. This is Andrew Walker, and join us for the Cross Mitsubishi pregame show before each Edmonton playoff game. Cross Mitsubishi on 34th Ave and 96th Street.
If you bleed orange and blue and you're not using the all-new Play Alberta Sports and Casino app, then you're missing out. It's the only online sportsbook with odds boosts on all Oilers games. And now, it's not just sports. Play the slots, hit the tables, buy lottery tickets, all in one app, all across Alberta. Download Play Alberta now from your phone's app store and use promo code GOAL for a $100 bonus. That's promo code GOAL!
Get ready to revolutionize your job site with Edmonton Kubota's game-changing compact construction equipment. From mini excavators and skid steers to track loaders, carriers, and utility vehicles, they have a model to fit every need, all powered by legendary Kubota diesel engines. These machines are built for performance and reliability. Transform your work with Edmonton Kubota's top-of-the-line compact equipment. Visit them today and see why they're the name you can trust for power and precision.
Explore beyond the boundaries of capability and value during Truck Month at GMC. Right now, get 0% financing for up to 72 months on the 2025 Sierra 1500 Crew Cab Pro Graphite. With a TurboMax engine delivering 310 horsepower, GMC Pro safety features including automatic emergency braking, plus a max towing of up to 9,500 pounds. You'll be ready for anything this Truck Month. Ask your GMC dealer for details.
Hey campers, Brent Fullerton from Carefree RV. They say life is about the journey, not the destination. With our incredible selection of destination-style travel trailers, we think life could be about both. We have everything from 26-foot tiny homes to 45-foot lofted villas that will sleep the whole family. These RVs are perfect for the lake lot, RV park, or acreage. See our inventory of destination trailers at any of our 3 locations or visit us online at carefreerv.ca.
Explore Internet just got 10 times faster. 5G Ultra brings incredible speeds to homes in rural and small town Canada. Upgrade today at xplore.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Culligan for all your residential water needs. Your local water treatment company, more than just big bottles. Culligan.com.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, rolling through a Thursday afternoon. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, as always, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Get in the game. Use the promo code Gregor50 and you'll get a free $50 play at PlayAlberta.ca. As it's time to speed up things in our racing report brought to you by Cantork. What's the best way to beat the tariffs? Well, buy Canadian. Cantork's products are not only made in Canada, but right here in Edmonton. Save money, support Canada at cantork.com. Colin Livingston joins us fresh back from his first race of the year, the alternator. It's like you guys with the Oilers. You had a few good laps and then boom, just couldn't finish.
Yeah, I mean, fresh back from Ontario, fresh into the new studio. Holy moly, this is awesome. Like, walk in, Rye Caesar, thanks to Sherbrooke Liquor. I mean, what gets it doesn't get any better, but yeah, I mean, great potential this weekend. We've really struggled in the NASCAR Canada Series the last couple of years. Just little things kind of hurting us. New crew chief this year, Don Thompson Jr., legendary crew chief. I mean, he was an amazing driver. He's been a great crew chief and, worked a bit of his magic. Basically, nothing fancy, just kind of made the things work the way that they're supposed to. We didn't get a lot of practice time. There was basically an hour practice session on Saturday for us before qualifying. We were hampered by weather. I mean, it was cold. Like, temperatures were about the same as here, but with the humidity, with the wind, it was just miserable out there. That didn't keep us from practicing. There was lightning in the area. When we get lightning strikes within a certain distance, NASCAR locks us down. So I think we only got 4 laps of practice. Still managed to qualify third. Alex was pretty pissed off because he made a big mistake in what's called Moss Corner, turn 5A and 5B. Just didn't trust the brakes and broke a little bit early. His best guess is it cost us a few tenths of a second, but still qualified third, front row or second row start, but on the right side of the track, which is where we wanted to be. By 5A, 5B on the opening lap, he had taken the lead, was driving away. Everything was good until we started making pit stops where, the engine RPM comes down and the power started to go away. Like you said, alternator, unfortunate, but very encouraging that we had the speed for a change.
Now let's move on. I'm going to start kind of more Penske cheating. I guess we'll start there. Will Power and Newgarden, they were found to have cheated by modifying a part prior to making their bid on Saturday's main qualifying session. Yep. When you're constantly getting caught, at some point they're like, hey, so my question is like, they're obviously not good at it because they keep getting caught. Right? So what's going on here?
Whether they're good or not, I think is kind of secondary. In both situations over the last 2 years, they got away with what they were doing for a long time. Mm-hmm. The part in question is what's called the attenuator. It's this big pointy plastic carbon fiber piece that comes off the back of the car.
Yeah.
Very clearly states you're not allowed to modify it. And they did. They basically filled it in and sanded it down and smoothed it out. The problem is this is not the kind of action that's accidental. Like, last year when they were caught cheating, it was with the push to pass, which is something that's supposed to be controlled by IndyCar. And they found a way to access it anytime they wanted, which on restarts, they were able to access their push to pass which gave them a crazy advantage on the starts. I think it was Joseph Newgarden had his win taken away. Scott McLaughlin had points taken away. Will Power didn't seem to have that same thing last year. Now, this year with the attenuator, our good friend Marshall Pruitt from Racer.com, when all the grumbling started last weekend, he very awarely walked over to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum, where Joseph Newgarden's 2024 winning Indy 500 car was on display.
Yeah.
And it had a modified attenuator sitting on display. So these are things that either the tech people at IndyCar just for whatever reason didn't happen to catch, or they were maybe under some kind of influence because Mr. Penske owns the series, owns the speedway, owns the race. I don't believe that. I think these were legitimate. Like, you don't want to blame the tech officials but it was something that's been in plain sight for at least 2 years. And it was only at Barber Motor Speedway a couple weeks ago that someone from Chip Ganassi said, "Hey, what is this?" They actually reported it to IndyCar, and IndyCar said it wasn't a problem until it became a problem. The bigger thing for me is that these guys are still able to participate in the race.
Jacob Agawam wasn't.
Correct.
Why?
He got bumped. Mr. Penske was asked by Jamie Little in an interview and said, "Do you think that the cars should be withdrawn?" He said, "No, they passed tech on on Saturday, which means that they were eligible to go." But I don't accept that. Because something was missed doesn't mean it was okay. And this is something that but within the Penske organization, their 3 top executives, aside from Mr. Penske, were removed from their duties. I'm going to get the names wrong. Tim Cindric and Kyle Rositzky and Ron Rositzky and Kyle Moyer.
Yeah.
All terminated. So the team's going to be, I think they're going to be a little motivated to show what they have, but Newgarden and Power are going to start on the back row. Scott McLaughlin, the third car, he gets to keep his position. He crashed in warm-up for the Fast 12. His car did not have that modified attenuator on it, so he gets to start 12th. It's going to be interesting to see, but I feel terrible because the real story of last weekend was that a brand new team with a rookie driver wins the pole for the Indy 500 and nobody really talks about it. Robert Schwartzman with Prema Racing comes out of nowhere, very little experience. Obviously, a rookie driver has never won the pole on track.
Yeah.
Tony Stewart got it when a driver was killed. I think it was 96. He ended up starting first, but he didn't win the pole. It's happened through some technical snafus, but this was the first time a rookie ever won. And because of this Penske thing, it's being overshadowed. So, it's going to be interesting to see how the Penske cars from the back, they're going to be quick. Now, whether this thing had an advantage or didn't, the cars are going to be quick. Be fun to watch. No matter what, even with all this controversy, it's still going to be a great race. There's going to be lots of passing. There's going to be on-track passes, pit stop passes.
Oh, it's a great race. It's a great race to watch this weekend.
Amazing race to watch.
No question. It was interesting. I asked about Paolo, and if he doesn't win and he said, "Hey, if my career ends and I've not won an Indy 500, it for sure will be not a successful career."
Yep.
So obviously, it means a lot to him.
Bingo.
What do you make of his chances?
He's been quick for 3 weeks. Obviously they've been fast all year, but this Indy 500 specification is very, 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 very different, even from the rest of the ovals. The time they take and put into these cars, generally speaking, if you're not fast when you start practice, you don't get fast by the end of it. Like, you've got to have a car that out of the box is in contention, and they have been with him and Scott Dixon. They've been up front in all the practice sessions. Takuma Sato has come out of nowhere. He's only running the 500 this year. He's a previous winner. He qualified second. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see how the race unfolds.
Moving to F1, Colin Livingston joins us. Max Verstappen, man, that was a heck of a race.
Holy.
Like he's McLaren might have a little bit of a better car right now, maybe, but man, Max, that was quite clinical of a performance from him.
That was a driver absolutely taking the win. Once he got out in clean air, nobody even came close to him. You know, I've been very critical of Max on a number of occasions. I'm not going to pretend like I'm jumping on the Max bandwagon, but that was absolutely the move of the year, if not the last couple of years, to outbreak Piastri that bad on the dirty side of the track and still drive around him. It was very clean, very aggressive, but absolutely decisive. And then, you know, the rest of the race was pretty boring. I mean,
Lewis Hamilton had a pretty good race.
He managed to drive from 11th or 12th up to 4th, which was pretty cool. But even, you know, I when I went back and watched the race, you know, he got stuck behind Antonelli forever until they worked their pit stops. Leclerc just didn't seem to have what Hamilton had. It's going to be interesting for Leclerc as that team goes forward and becomes more Lewis's team, as they start to listen more to Lewis than listen to Charles. And as he starts to see that the team is going to start progressing in Lewis's direction, which they'd be foolish not to, having a 7-time champion, to see what happens to his.
Well, shouldn't he be able to learn from it though, and be like, how can I become better from this?
But there's ego beyond ego when it comes to every single driver. They want the team to listen to what they're going to say. But as the car has largely been developed for Charles over the last couple of years, he's signed the longest contract in Ferrari history. They've obviously had a lot of faith in him. I think going forward, the tide is starting to turn. And when he really starts to see that he's the second driver, and this is just my opinion, this is coming from nothing, you know, anywhere but what I'm seeing, he's going to either look for an exit or he's just going to start to crumble. I don't want to see it, but kind of starting to see that would be the case.
And it's highly coveted. It's kind of the rich of the rich race, but unless it rains, like when I got the Indy 500 or F1 in Monaco, it's not even close which one I would watch from a pure racing standpoint. Monaco, there's hardly any passing unless it rains.
Correct. Last year, the top 10 positions didn't change even one time under caution.
No.
The entire race is based on Saturday qualifying. That's the quote unquote exciting part. But even that's a little bit muddy because it's so tough, especially in Q1, to get a clean lap. You've got all the cars out on the track at the same time. Very, very tight street circuit where you can't always see the cars in front, so it's easy to get impeded. So, you know, there could be a surprise if the teams aren't able to get their drivers clean track to run a full lap. You could see some top guys stuck at the back. The only thing that F1's done differently this year is mandated 2 pit stops.
Yes.
With the hope that turns it up.
I
But
don't think
this is not a race for the fans. This is a race for the billionaires, the millionaires, the ultra wealthy, to kind of show off what they have. This is where you're going to see more off-track action about, you know, this guy shows up on a boat and this guy shows up to the track. You're not going to hear about a lot of on-track stuff because there just isn't going to be a lot.
Yeah, that's fair. Colin, great stuff, buddy. Enjoy the weekend.
I'm going to take this Rye Caesar to go.
It's good, isn't it? Hey?
I mean, it's short enough. I don't have to worry about driving, but I might have to go get some ingredients on the way back.
Rye Caesar, you check it out. Ask Dave. He'll say, yep, it's unbelievable.
Loving
I like it. Let's get to the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fountain Tire. Make your first stop Fountain Tire for your summer road trip. They'll check your tire, your oil change, alignments, and brakes to make sure that you're ready for everything on the road ahead. FountainTire.com.
Is a Sports 1440 update.
One game tonight in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Canes and Panthers meeting in North Carolina. Obviously, the Panthers leading that series 1-0. Puck drop just after 6 o'clock. for the Maple Leafs. Brandon Shanahan's time in the organization is done, as his contract will not be renewed after 11 seasons with the organization. He had the reports yesterday that the New York Islanders had approached the team for permission to speak with Shanahan about their lead executive vacancy. And from the IIHF World Championships, Canada shocked by Denmark, falling 2-1. With that, the semifinals on Saturday will have Sweden taking on the United States and Switzerland up against Denmark. In the association tonight, the OKC Thunder can take a 2-0 series lead as they host the Timberwolves. Tip-off not one set for 6:30 in the majors. The Jays complete the sweep over the Padres, winning 7-6 earlier today in extras. You also had the Phillies over the Rockies 2-0, and the Yankees blank the Rangers 1-0. Right now, Angels lead the Athletics 7-5 in the top of the 8th. In the PWHL, game 2 tonight between the Frost and the Charge. That gets going at 5 o'clock from Ottawa. Ottawa leads that series 1-9, and the Stingers are in Saskatoon for a meeting with the Rattlers. That's starting at 7:30. You can watch it on TSN+. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll ask 5 questions. We'll be joined by Florida Panthers beat reporter David Ward. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
At Fountain Tire, we're all about one thing: taking care of your vehicle. Oh, and your wallet. I guess that's 2 things. Save up to 20% off select tires until June 14th. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together.
Get moving with Volvo and save big for summer during the May sales event at Volvo Cars Edmonton. It's the final month to lease or finance a 2025 XC90 plug-in hybrid from 1.49% and save $5,000. Lease or finance a 2025 XC60 plug-in hybrid from 0.49% and save $3,000. Lease or finance a 2025 XC40 from 0.49% and save up to $2,000. Volvo Cars Edmonton. Great vehicles, better services. Only at VolvoCarsEdmonton.com. You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need: Mr. Dirk. Family run since 19. Crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Actions speak louder than words. Japa Machinery Group puts your construction plan into action with XCMG construction machinery you need. Available for rental or sale. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
It's playoff time. And
Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation Youth.
Sports Leader, Sports
40,
1440. Tune in after every playoff
14,
game for the Ridge
14,
Social Leader
Sports
Game Show. The Ridge is the new hotspot in St. Albert, and it's so good.
Legend
Sports
has
14.
foretold of a smoothie so delicious and refreshing that it could quench the thirst of a fire-breathing dragon.
Jason
Gregor. It's also a great pick-me-up after a workout. The new Dragon Slaya smoothie from Booster Juice, a legendary blend of dragon fruit and mango.
Rolling through a Thursday
after session. Try it today along with the new Dragon Booster Ball and the Pink Dragon Booster Mixer.
3 epic menu items to conquer your cravings. Booster Juice, Canadian-born, blending since 1999.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Dang. Last season, you bought new clubs to fix your game. You spent the entire season trying to learn how to hit with your magic clubs. And guess what? Dang. They didn't help your game. Now you're convinced it's your swing, but it really is your clubs. Even though you were told the ones you bought were the best ever made, if they were, you would have gotten better. Every day at Fitted Golf, we continue to prove the right clubs make all the difference in the world. From beginners to pros, Fitted Golf makes all the difference. Yes, fittedgolf.ca.
Hey, Gary, is that your dad?
No, this is Evan, the new sales rep I hired.
Oh.
First impressions matter, but when hair loss takes over, it can feel like you're not being seen for the maverick you truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we know that hair loss.
Colin, great stuff, buddy.
I'm going to take this.
Sees you check it out. Ask Dave. He'll say, "Yep, it's unbelievable."
So you can make a great impression every time.
Book a free consultation today at drvanselliot.com.
Golf season is here at Wolf Creek Golf Resort. The fairways are green, the sun is shining, and it's time to tee off with friends and family. Whether you're a seasoned player or just starting out, Wolf Creek's championship courses are ready for you. Book your tee time today and experience one of Alberta's premier golf destinations. Visit golfnorth.ca/Wolf Creek for details. Wolf Creek Golf Resort. Your golf adventure starts now.
You're listening to The Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
It didn't work. Portions of this hour brought to you by Action Electrical. They're the most diversified electrical contractor in Alberta with 4 divisions in project, service tag, and solar for commercial or residential. Contact them today at actionelectrical.net.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Welcome back on a lovely Thursday afternoon. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Declan Kruger along for the afternoon. Of course, the big story, I don't know how big it is, but Canada losing to Denmark in the quarterfinals at the Men's World Hockey Championship. So Canada is out. Sweden and U.S. will be in one semifinal. Switzerland and the Danes, Denmark, will be in the other semifinal. So, Crosby and McKinnon. Hey, you never know, man. In a one-gamer, anything can happen. Anything can happen. And Nikolai Ehlers tied the game. And then Nosen won it late. Patrick Russell, former Edmonton Oilers, who did not score a goal in his NHL career, did assist on both goals for the Danes. And, man, what a party it'll be in Denmark. You know what? Like, it's a small nation, 5 million people. And, yeah, I know Canadians going to get bad, but ultimately at the end of the day, it's not going to impact anything negatively in Canada, but it'll have massive positive impacts in Denmark, TR. So, that part of it's good.
Has it ever happened before?
The Danes beating Canada?
I must have it on some level, but,
I don't think so. I have to look up, and I'm trying to, we'll get Cons to look it up. I don't know, man. I don't
like, the trail smoke eaters in 1938 or something. Like, I can't think of it happening other than that.
The Danes had a team back then, so they were all skiing all over the place. So I'm not even sure they had a team. So that is it's a good question. We'll look it up. I got to think it was the first one, but obviously, hey, you know what? It's be disappointing for the fellas, obviously, but it doesn't mean that Canada has to change anything. It's a one gamer, and it just shows you that that's why you show up. That's why you play your hardest, because you never know, right? Like I see it all. We're going to lose this game. We can't win, kids, because then you're beaten before the game starts.
Yeah,
doesn't matter, right? There's lots of Davids out there that can beat Goliath at times, especially in a one-game event. Obviously, if they played every best of 7, Canada's winning. But in a one-gamer, who knows? And man, the crowd was going absolutely bananas. So you know what? Good for them. Like that's like knocking down, knocking off one of the top dogs, man. It's huge. So
and not only that,
and Crosby
being so low. Like I get it. I can identify being from Newfoundland, like on a provincial going to the nationals level, right? But like we, for example, have Brad Gushue, but he is the best, or his rank, it's changed over the years at curler, or one of, and definitely rated going it. But like this was not an off year. This wasn't a weird team that or an oddity that Denmark put forth that are rated ahead. They just had a team that can you imagine someone bet on that today? And I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know what the odds were, but I'm guessing they can't get any more astronomically low or high, whichever end you're looking at.
It would have been a good underdog bet if you were going for the Danes for sure. Second time Canada's lost to Denmark, TR. So it's not the first. It's not the first time. When was the first time, Cons?
It was a preliminary round in 2023.
What?
At the World Championship.
It looks like it, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. TR, you might have to come out of retirement, buddy. Hey, you're not gonna win every game. It's kind of how it goes now. So, especially the low scoring, the teams have learned they how to check and they battle, and hey, they outshot Canada 22-10 in the third period. So they didn't just sit back. Canada had the 1-0 lead, and they were sitting back. Never sit back. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's not.
Did they sit back though, or did they have a bunch of penalties in a row?
No. Oh, I had one
okay.
penalty. Looking at the
Good God
game sheet. So yeah, give them credit. Canada, of course, now they're out. So first time I think in 11 years they don't even make the semifinal. The other news, of course, so we got a lot of text flying in 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. The Edmonton Oilers, they have an optional skate today. Yeah, there's not a lot of practice, barely any skates between games now. They'll lick their wounds after last night's loss. It ends up looking terrible. They give up 5 goals in the third period, one being an empty net, but still 3 power play goals, and then they give up another one. And, it was lights out Irene for them. We do have some questions about, Edmonton's defense and boxing out. And do they need to do a better job, TR?
Oh, man. I think they better get ready. Yeah, it's only going to get harder because a lot of Dallas forwards go to the cage, right? I don't know. Do they need to do a better job? I think they've had lapses, but I think they know exactly what they're doing. I think there are more mistakes, and they can identify that. I guess they do, especially if comparing to last night's third period.
Yeah.
But I expect that they'll correct that. I don't think it's going to be a problem.
What about the penalty kill, though? It's leaking oil all over the place. They're getting beat in different areas. Like there's a few things. Like if you're in the shooting lane, you got to get in the shooting lane.
Yeah.
Like, Janmark is really good, but he's right there and he leans left. You got to lean right, get into that shooting lane at that moment. And maybe that shot doesn't get through. Skinner's got to look around the screen a little bit better, I think, on that goal. The second power play goal, not much of an issue with. I just sometimes a good play happens. But the last one on Duchesne, it's 10 seconds after the penalty. There's a scramble. Stetcher gets caught up with Johnson. He falls down. So yes, the right side defense, it's an open area, which probably wouldn't be open. So that's a factor, but still Skinner got bumped. I didn't love his effort on that play. It was kind of like he was, you can't quit. Like quit's too strong of a word maybe, but I don't think he got caught up in worrying about, is there going to be a call? Just keep playing through the whistle and then worry about the call later.
Yeah, that was the one he glanced over at the ref, I think, didn't he? Yeah. So, see that's and not only that, but it's showing the other team that they're in your head, right?
Yeah.
Like, so you got to really, especially like if you look over at the ref and you want to call, and then there's a reaction, it's a goal. It's going to be a goal. So all that really does, to me, spread bad vibes is a bad general way to put it. It doesn't, the optics aren't great. And if you're the other team, those are little tiny things that you can really, gain from. And you'll let everybody know on the bench, hey, we're in his head. He's looking at the ref. Okay, a little bit of snow here, boys. Fall into him if you can. Shot. We know we're in his head. And then that, I think, just opens the door when you do things like that. I'm sure he knows the difference. And it was heat of the moment, but yeah, I didn't love that look.
Yeah. And the reason I asked the question about the box out, TR, is because obviously the first goal, there's no box out. The Granlund goal, there's no box out. The Duchesne, there's no box out because Stetcher falls down. All right. So when people were all upset about it, I'm like, I didn't really see last night that the Oilers not boxing out was a direct result of the goals, right? You look at the last goal by Sagan, he deflects a puck out of midair. It's not a box out. So in other cases, maybe you want to use it. I don't think last night a quote lack of boxing out was why they lost the game. I didn't see that as being a big issue. So, to me, it's like in the moment, Skinner, lose your focus, which at times, that can be his downfall. Like I crunched the numbers. Stuart Skinner last 2 years, when he has his bad games, they're really bad. 5 games, he allowed 25 goals. He's got a .798 save percentage, right? It's awful. In the other 24, he's got a 2.14 2.12 goals against average, and like a 915 save percentage. Like, fine. He not out of this world. I don't expect him to be out of this world. But when you have your off nights, they can't be so off. And that's the issue here. And at some point it's gotta be there. But I'll say this. Players who are who they are. And even if you go back to his junior career, the year they went to the Memorial Cup, I looked it up. He got pulled 4 times. Right. So it's always kind of being a little bit of an issue there. And so that's going to be something where, and that to me, people are like, oh, your goalie coach. No, that's a mental thing.
Yeah.
I firmly believe that that's a mental where you can't have the lapses where suddenly you're not focused.
Yeah. And you could want it all you want, but if you let yourself get distracted, right, there's being too focused and there's wanting to save the day all by yourself in a moment. And you get caught between those two worlds, right? Being frustrated and then wanting to overdo it. And the same thing by extension, like those things, the Oilers, I remember in the first couple of games, there was questions about boxing out and they corrected that. Of the playoffs, how many games have gone by? 10 or 11. So, and they've been good for the most part. But what happens is that, let's just say the penalty kill, the Oilers have been pretty aggressive on it. They're not given much time to think when they're successful. So but last night they didn't. It's like they were caught. You can tell when Skinner's unsure of himself, but you can tell when a lot of the team, like you said, I hate to use Janmark again, but that was it because there was more than that. But on that play, when they slow it down, you can see either you buy into that or you back away. And I remember as a forward, a lot of the time wanting to I'll just go block the shot and jump in front. But that's not always the case. Sometimes the goalie got it, right? You got to identify those. So if you're going to go there and you're 10 or 15 feet away from the shot and you're in the lane where he was, you got to jump into that. It's easy for me to say it's a fraction of a second, but the Oilers though they've been confident, they've known, and a couple of times it wasn't just that play. There was a few more that all of a sudden they're really unsure of themselves. That's what I mean about the momentum and the confidence. And when you show when the optics to the other team are so obvious that you're rattled a little bit and you're unsure of yourself, they'll pounce on that like a wolf on a pack of chickens.
Yeah, no, it's very true. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We'll take a quick break. But before we go to break, just to remind you for anybody who's into baseball or indoor training, you might want to check out Athics Performance Center on 180th Street and 111th Avenue. They have their open house night. They're going to unveil their brand new 8,000 square foot turf that they train an indoor facility. It's great to go along with their baseball registration, and they got a few other events going on. I think Derek might try to do 10 push-ups in a row. We'll see. That might be part of it. I can't confirm that or deny it, but you never know. So check it out tonight. They got their open house going from 6:30 until 8 o'clock. They got some food and drinks down there as well for baseball people. Anybody who likes to work out or train indoors, that new turf's going to be fantastic. So 180th Street and 111th Avenue. Take a quick break. We'll return. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Terry Ryan, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. The Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Hold on to your hockey helmet, Edmonton. On the Rocks is serving up 60-cent wings that fly off the plate faster than a slap shot. And Molson Canadians for $5.25. OTR's TVs, hey, they're so clear you'll see the puck better than the ref. That ain't hard, is it? And every game night during Edmonton's playoff run, specials start 30 minutes before puck drop and last for the whole game. Be a part of the legend. See the menu at ontherocksyeg.com.
Day or night, tasting just so right. You can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle Noodle.
You got it. Go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
I'm tired of waking up tired. Waking up tired. Waking up tired.
Are you tired of waking up tired? Come visit our sleep experts at the Brick Mattress Store. Get Canada's guaranteed lowest prices on all things sleep. Plus, try your new mattress for 6 months. If you don't love it, we'll find one you do. Some conditions apply. Stop waking up tired. Get the right mattress, guaranteed. Only at the Brick Mattress Store.
Bringing every project to life requires the right team. By joining the Japa Machinery Group service or sales teams, you can be part of setting a new industry standard. Celebrating a legacy of excellence with Japa. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
Work hard, get dirty, build better communities. If that sounds like a good day's work to you, GS Construction wants you to be part of their team. Right now, GS Construction is looking to hire experienced top men and pipe layers for underground sewer and water work. So if you know your way around a trench, take pride in doing the job right, and want to be part of a crew that has your back, let's get to work together. Apply now at gsconstruction.ca.
Hey, Alberta, the all-new Play Alberta app is here. Casino, sports betting, lottery, all in one app, right on your phone. And because it's Play Alberta, you know it's safe, secure, and reliable. Download it now and play over 500 online casino games, live dealer tables, and unique games you'll love. Plus, bet on sports from anywhere in the province. You in? Download Play Alberta now from your phone's app store and deposit using promo code OIL for a $100 casino bonus on the house. That's promo code OIL for a $100 casino bonus.
Experience Edmonton Stingers Pro Basketball. Don't miss the midweek showdown on Wednesday, May 28th at 7 p.m. It's the most affordable, family-friendly, fun sports experience in the city. Tickets start at just $20. Thestingers.ca. You can expect two things this spring, Oil Country: playoff beards and weird car noises after coming back from winter LTIR. Don't let something like a worn-out transmission or squeaky brakes keep you from catching the playoffs. Whether you need quality brakes, top brand oils, or a battery with more energy than 97 on the ice, Napa Auto Parts has all your trusted parts, tools, equipment, and automotive needs to keep your vehicle in winning shape for the games ahead. With over 85 locations in Alberta, visit your local Napa store today or online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
At Fountain Tire, we're all about one thing: taking care of your vehicle. Oh, and your wallet. I guess that's two things. Save up to 20% off select tires until June 14th. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together.
It's playoff time. Let's go. From pre- and post-game shows to analysis from Kevin, Lokeside, and Jason. This is going to be a fun run. For all things hockey, lock it in to Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. Watch every Oilers game at OTR with $5.25 Molson Canadian, $5 Pink Whitney shots, and 60-cent wings. Plus, play Oilers score and win for your chance to win On the Rocks gift cards. Oilers hockey at OTR. Book your table today. Jasper Ave and 118th.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Rolling through, Jason Gregor, Terry Ryan, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. We got a lot of text flying in, 833-401-1440. We're going to get to Dave Dwork joining us from Florida momentarily as we continue on to talk NHL playoffs. The Oilers No news real coming out of the orders. Ekholm obviously isn't playing. We've said that all. I've said it all along. He's not going to play on their. I'm not even sure if he'll be ready for Game 3 on Sunday. I'd kind of be surprised. I think maybe I always said later on in the series, and I still kind of stick with that. So to me, later on is maybe Game 4, Game 5. We'll see. Let's get to our playoff report brought to you by your Alberta GMC dealers and truck month continuing on, but it ends here at the end of the month where you can get $5,000 cash purchase credit on 2025 Sierra HD models. See more at gmccanada.ca. David Dwork, beat reporter for the Florida Panthers, joins us again. And David, the Panthers come in with the chance to win both on the road in the salary cap era. Teams who win Game 1 on the road are 12-5, so pretty good odds automatically. And then you throw in the fact how they won this game. I thought that was a pretty dominant performance from them. They got the Panthers off their game. They're shooting pucks at them. They're trying to run the goalie. And that's not really Carolina's game, right? Like, they're a pretty disciplined team. What impressed you maybe the most about how Florida controlled that game?
Let's see. I mean, I think Florida did a good job keeping the high-end chances down to Carolina. I mean, they had some good rush chances, but in terms of zone opportunity, I thought they did a good job keeping them to the outside. Carolina, even though Florida won, was it 5-2? Carolina, I think they were 2 for 1 on shot attempts, and shots on goal. They had, I think, like 33-20. So they did get a lot of chances. Bob was pretty solid at net there, but overall, I was surprised, as you were, Jason, just about how undisciplined Carolina was. A team that's very well coached. Usually, boring hockey, I think, has been the moniker that they've been saddled with throughout the playoffs. But it looked like the Panthers were almost in their head before the puck even dropped in Game 1, the way they were doing a lot of the extracurricular stuff. So I'm curious to see kind of how things play out here tonight in Game 2.
Well, you look at the Panthers. I know their team, as do you, David. They're very rarely one who take things sitting down. Svechnikov, I thought that was pretty blatantly cheap on Bob. There's goalie contact, and then there's running the goalie, and he veered clearly into him. I know Bob was like, they're just trying to get me off my game, but I think the Panthers are going to, maybe it's not tonight, but at some point somebody's going after Svechnikov.
I would think, you got to protect your goalie. And the Panthers, if any team out there is going to be able to take things into their own hands and make up for something like that, I would think it would be Florida. I was surprised. I don't think of Svechnikov as that kind of player at all. Yeah. I was a little surprised to see that watching the replay, because I think it was pretty clear that he certainly could have avoided making contact with Bob's head. And if there's anybody on the ice that's a defenseless player in terms of physical contact, odds are it's going to be the goaltender. So that was a bit surprising to see that. Between that and then what happened later in the game with Shane Gostisbehere taking the shot at Brad Marchand, it just wasn't very Carolina-like. But as you said, I think the Panthers, I think they're fine with taking accounts into their own hands. They don't have an issue with that. Now, will they, between the whistles is another story, because I think they feel pretty good about how Game 1 played out, just in terms of the physicality and how they responded to it. But I'd be surprised if it doesn't get addressed one way or another before the series is over.
If you're Florida, is there anything you want to change? Dude, I thought they really played quite well overall. Is there anything you saw in Paul Maurice? I know a coach is never perfectly satisfied. So is there anything he's like, hey, we got to be better tonight?
Yeah, I think they're going to want to get more pucks through on Freddie Anderson. They only finished with 20 shots on goal or whatever. And they didn't have a lot of shot opportunities either. The Panthers are usually a team that has shot opportunities in the 70s and the 80s for some games. And I don't even think they cracked 50 in Game 1, which is very unlike them. So I would think even though they had a good game, they won by 3 goals. There was a lot that Paul Maurice is going to want to clean up. And they want to have a bit more of an offensive impact in that game. So that's what I'm going to be looking for, more offensive opportunities in Game 2.
David Dwork joins us, a beat reporter for the Florida Panthers. And you know what? This entire playoffs, when you look at the Panthers and the teams they beat, nothing comes easy, but they rarely look kind of out of sorts. Obviously, they've got a boatload of experience, consecutive Stanley Cup final appearances, winning last year. And, they bring in Seth Jones, who's been excellent for them. And, Brad Marchand, I want to talk about Brad Marchand, but maybe actually I want to talk about Lee Sterainen. He's their leading scorer, Dave. I'm sure I could have said, hey, list 5 guys who you think are going to lead the Panthers in scoring, and he wouldn't have made your list.
No, for sure. Yeah, it's been fun watching E2 kind of blossom. We've known that he's had these capabilities for the last few years, but that both him and Anton Lundell I've just been kind of waiting for them to take the next offensive step the last 1-2 seasons now. But maybe it was just sprinkling that Brad Marchand effect on the line that really did it. I mean, we've seen guys like we've seen Sam Reinhart on that line. We've seen Vladimir Tarasenko on that line. But, Paul Maurice was talking about it the other day. It takes a guy like Marchand, who's a little bit more vocal, a little bit more enthusiastic. Like Paul Maurice said, he's been so pleasantly surprised by how positive of a guy Brad Marchand is. He's pumping everybody's tires on the bench, and this is a future Hall of Famer. So to have that kind of a positive impact from E2 and from Anton Lundell on that line, I think that it's just been like pouring gasoline on a fire. And to give two guys that are very defensive first players kind of a little bit of freedom to say, hey guys, we can play defense, but we can still go in the offense and make some of these nice handsy plays and little quick passes in the corner. And that's what they're doing. I just think, so much with hockey players, it's a confidence thing. And I think Marchand has just allowed those guys confidence to go through the roof. And the results have been pretty awesome to see.
It was funny. Some people were like, Bobrovsky, we're not really sure about him. But kind of halfway through that Toronto series, it's just like he flipped the switch and he's like, all right, here we go. And I'm not, and I didn't think he was that bad before that, but he's definitely taken his game. Like right now, his side to side mobility, Dave, like he just looks so, there was the one play, it was the second period or late in the first, and he just came across so smoothly and thwarted a scoring chance. It looked like a great chance into like a routine save.
Yeah, he's when he's on like that and those lateral movements, he almost reminds me a little bit of Jonathan Quick and to just how his hips are so fluid and the way he's moving side to side. It's really fun to watch just from a goaltending perspective. But that Toronto series was weird because Florida was giving up a bit more off the rush than they're used to, and it took them a little while to adjust to Toronto's game. Once they started cleaning up the second chance opportunities, Bob's game just kind of went through the roof from there on, and it's continued here into the Carolina series. Now, he was, I think, excellent in game one. I don't think he got enough credit for how good he was. Just because between the rush chances, between zone opportunities, and particularly, I thought his rebound control was really on point. But Florida, I mean, look, he's been that guy for the last few years now. The beginning of his Florida tenure was a little shaky, but since Paul Maurice arrived, it's been a perfect marriage for Bob and the defensive systems that they play. So I'm not surprised at all to see him doing this because this is Bob's money time. This is when he shines the best. The opportunity for them to make this a short series is hugely crucial, I would think, considering how many games they've played the last few seasons. And, Edmonton always seems to make life a little bit harder on themselves. I don't know if Florida does that or not, but like this is a real huge opportunity for them to win on the road. You come back, then you could be looking and say, hey, maybe this is 4, maybe this is a 5-gamer all of a sudden. Oh, for sure. And it goes back to like the first round against Tampa where the Panthers won the first 2 games on the road. And even though they lost game 3 at home, they were able to win that series in 5 just because you get all the momentum and the confidence. I mean, Carolina, I don't think they lost at home in the playoffs before game 1. They've been excellent in Raleigh. So to get that and to kind of smack him in the face right off the bat is great. And for Florida, they can go into this game knowing, hey, we didn't play our best game in game 1. We can go out there and play better and have a chance to go home with a 2-0 lead. And as you were talking about, the rest key, I think, would be crucial because this Panthers team, you had guys, Marchand was hurt going into the playoffs. You've had Bennett, you've had Barkov, guys that get a little banged up because they play a very physical game. So any extra rest that you can get, winning this series going into the final, whether it's Dallas or Edmonton, whoever it might be, I think Florida would behoove themselves to do their best to get that opportunity. But it's the playoffs. You never know.
And I want to look ahead a little bit. Bob's entering the final. He's got 1 more year next year in his deal, but you've got Ekblad, who's a UFA. You've got Marchand, who's a UFA. You got Sam Bennett, who's a UFA. Is Sam Bennett priority number 1 in the organization on who to re-sign? He's having himself a great playoffs. Ekblad, since the suspensions, actually played really well. Is there any way they can keep both of them? Or do you think one of them is going for sure?
I'd actually be surprised if they didn't find a way to keep both of them based off of the way that they describe the importance of both players to the systems and to the way that the team plays. And during this season, just listening to comments made by Paul Maurice and Bill Zito when both guys have been out of the lineup, how crucial they are to the team's success and how crucial they are to doing what they're due. Now, they could go out and potentially replace them in the offseason, but I think you've got something that works very well right now. You've got a rising cap going up, and you've got a team and Bill Zito running a team where he's gotten plenty of guys to take these team-friendly deals, whether it's Reinhart, whether it's Verhaeghe, whether it's Forsling, guys that he's re-signed in the last couple of years that have all gotten a lot less, you would think, staying in Florida than particularly like Sam Reinhart. He would have gotten probably 10, 11 million on the open market compared to what he took in Florida. So I think that Bill Zito is going to find a way to get it done just because, as I said, they've explained why these two players are so crucial to what they do and how the team changes when they're out of the lineup. So if they can find a way to do it, I think they will. I think both players want to stay. I think Ekblad has made that very clear that he wants to continue his career in South Florida. So I do think they find a way to get it done, and I'd be surprised if they don't.
Interesting. Well, Dave, thanks so much, man. We appreciate it, and enjoy game 2 tonight.
Thank you. I will. And hopefully I'll be seeing you. I don't know if I want to say hopefully because the flights to Edmonton are rough, but best of luck to you and your guys the rest of the way too.
That is a long flight. You're pit stopping in Dallas basically to get to Edmonton. So,
yeah, wherever we can this time of year.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it.
Take care, Greider.
There you go. That's David Dork joining us from Florida. And yeah, it is a long flight. Yeah. Even when I know like the Oilers charter flight, if you go to Florida, it doesn't make it all the way one way. They still stop. Like that is a long flight. But Oilers and the Panthers, if it means you're in the Stanley Cup final again, you'll take it. Definitely you'll take it. 4:38. We'll come back. We got 5 questions. We got spec, DVD, and much, much more. The Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, the Daily Grand. Get your tickets, PlayAlberta.ca, a chance to get $1,000 a day for 20 years, $7.3 million. Good odds. Get your tickets, PlayAlberta.ca.
Oodle noodle origins. In 1864, Francis Oodle took over his dying father's business as a leatherman. He was quite proficient, but his heart was never truly in the trade. After his father's death, Oodle met a cocksure young man named Vladimir Nudel, who was a trailblazer in the popular new art of food boxes. They formed a partnership and aimed to ply their trade in the New World. At Ellis Island, Nudel was renamed David Noodle, and henceforth, the franchise has been known as Oodle Noodle.
Japa Machinery Group knows that XCMG may not roll off the tongue, but Japa's team will help keep your construction jobs rolling on time and on budget with heavy equipment sales and rentals. Visit japamachinery.com to find out more.
Explore beyond the boundaries of capability and value during Truck Month at GMC. Right now, get 0% financing for up to 72 months on the 2025 Sierra 1500 Crew Cab Pro Graphite. With a TurboMax engine delivering 310 horsepower, GMC Pro safety features, including automatic emergency braking, plus a max towing of up to 9,500 pounds. You'll be ready for anything this truck month. Ask your GMC dealer for details.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
Is it Riverside Motorsports? No. It's Riverside Motorsports. Over 55 years in business, and people still get it wrong. Guess it's time to get it right.
Riverside Motorsports. What you do for fun is our business.
Legend has foretold of a smoothie so delicious and refreshing that it could quench the thirst of a fire-breathing dragon.
But it's also a great pick-me-up after a workout. The new Dragon Slayer smoothie from Booster Juice, a legendary blend of dragon fruit and mangoes, destined to be your next obsession. Try it today along with the new Dragon Booster Ball and the Pink Dragon Booster Mixer.
3 epic menu items to conquer your cravings. Booster Juice, Canadian-born, blending since 1999.
Summit Restaurant, located in the heart of the Silent Ice Center and just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Summit is your destination for exceptional house-made pizza, delicious entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails. Experience the perfect blend of flavor and ambiance in a modern setting. Join us for a straightforward yet elevated dining experience where our commitment to quality speaks to every bite and sip. Make Summit Restaurant your next night on the town.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 Triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the 2 best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade: safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
The month of May brings machines, mud, and for us, many an opportunity. We're GS Construction, and we love the warmer weather because it means we can get to work. But to keep things moving, we need the right people on our team. You built your skills. You know your work matters. Now's the time to bring that experience to a crew that gets it. We're hiring experienced top men and pipe layers. So if you're ready to dig in and be part of a team that has your back, apply now at gsconstruction.ca for this great opportunity.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Can Torque. We offer sale, rental, repair, and calibration of hydraulic, pneumatic, and battery-powered torque wrenches, stud tensioners, and flange maintenance equipment. Order today at cantorque.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Well, little Huey Lewis in the news. Power of love. Well, fans, your love of your team always gets tested. The frustration level after just a third period, not really a performance. I would say a third period, because for the first 40 minutes, you're probably pretty excited. You're sitting back, second intermission. You're like, hey, man, team's playing really well. There'd be no signs. Like there had never been anything in that game that made you believe the Oilers are going to fall apart. Right? Nothing. So, but they did, and now they'll have to. Get better. Just that simple. Jason Gregor, Terry Ryan. TR's done like a wardrobe change during the show today. Wow, it's like he come to say, "What? You're going on a date? You're going on you got your motorcycle jacket on?" Oh.
Yeah. I'm practicing up. I'm getting my motorbike license on June 12th.
Are you seriously?
Yeah, did you? I don't know if I thought I mentioned it on here. So Joe Dolo, Jonathan Diaby, who plays Dolo on the show, he bought me a Harley Davidson. For real, like he bought me a Softail 2006 Harley Davidson. We went to Sudbury last week to do an event. Now he knew I was doing my license, and I guess went over and. We were on set one day a few months ago, and he bought it with the intention to surprise me last weekend, and he did. Drove it into the driveway. Here you go. It's yours.
Really?
Yeah. For real, man.
God.
Yeah.
So did you buy it just now? Do you have, I don't want to see them, but you're going to be wearing chaps, aren't you?
Oh, I got a whole. I'm going really deep with this. Yeah.
Oh, geez.
I want it as much for the look as anything. I don't want it for speed. I just want to create. And we've got nice drives. I mean, I'm on my electric bike all the time, acting like a madman. And I do know how to drive a bike. In growing up, my buddies had dirt bikes. It's the same concept, but I'm taking this whole safety course, all of that.
A little bit quicker than your dirt bike.
Oh my God, yeah. So I'm taking I'm going a full safety course.
Yeah.
And then 8 hours a day for 3 days. And then first day you don't even drive or turn it on. You just sit on it. And it's very slow and gradual, and I'm cool with that. I want to be as safe as I possibly can. Now, is that why I have the jacket on? No. I forgot I'm leaving tomorrow and my parents need my Jeep, so I had to drive it down to them quick. And I threw this on because I'm pumped. And I have some stuff around the door now. I got my helmet out. I got everything but the bike. It's getting shipped over here from Sudbury.
Dude, the last time I rode a crotch rocket, I was 19 years of age. And the intersection has changed now, but in a place, I don't know, have you ever been to Leduc? Just outside of Edmonton? Okay. Yeah. So when anybody is in Leduc, when you exit Leduc and you want to get onto the highway, not the McDonald's exit, but the one off of, I think that's 50th Ave. And so this was at like 2 a.m. with my buddies, and there was like 3 of us with bikes. I've ridden a motorbike lots, growing up. So I'd drive my buddy's bike and he had one, and it was foggy and dark out 2 a.m. and we're young and dumb. And so we're pounding on it and I'm driving. I can't really see where I'm going, which is stupid, but you're 19, you're stupid. And on the exit ramp, there's gravel on the one side if you get too far over to the right. Right. So you got to remember, this is, 25 years ago. Yeah, maybe close to 30 actually now. And I ended up too far in the right, going pretty fast, and I am all over the place, weaving, and I didn't bite it. I didn't wipe out and just stopped. And dude, like my heart was up my throat, got back on, drove home, and I've never ridden one since.
Well, first of all,
kill myself. This is stupid. So I'm out. I don't trust myself.
3 things and a correction. The 3 things are that I will not be driving it when a crotch rocket, never. I'm getting the Heritage Classic Softails, like a cruiser type bike. I won't be driving it when it's foggy, and I won't be driving it at 2 a.m. Yes. And that wasn't 25 years ago, buddy. That wasn't 30 years ago. That was more than 30 years ago. Do the math. You were 19.
So yeah, it was a while back, but yeah, I can tell you in all my life, for those 5-10 seconds, I'd never been more scared spitless in my life. I'll say that.
I can imagine.
Yeah. So let's get to 5 questions brought to you by The Brick. I'll tell you what won't scare you is the prices right now at The Brick. 40% off, 25% off furniture, mattresses, any department, great deals at The Brick and thebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, guys. Question number 1. After looking back at last night's game, Oilers and Stars, what was the biggest thing that stood out to you from either side or game as a whole?
I've already talked about it with the penalties, but I guess what stood out is that some wily veterans took them. That kind of surprised me. People that, don't usually put themselves in that position.
Yeah. I would say that the thing that surprised me was how quickly and repeatedly the meltdown occurred. Like you just watch it. It was like our penalty kill doesn't stop it. Penalty kill doesn't stop it. Penalty kill doesn't stop it. And you just keep taking penalties. And I'm just like, dudes, what are you doing? Like it was ridiculous. So bad penalties, bad penalty kill, bad combination.
Question number 2. Any adjustments you'd make from the Oilers going into game 2, or is it as simple as staying out of the box?
Well, staying out of the box they're always going to take some penalties, right? Whether it's 1, 2, or 3, but their special teams. I'm going to say this: their special teams has to be better. Both the power play, because the power play was junk. I know that Nugent Hopkins scored, but that was on a broken play. They did not get a shot in the 3rd period of a 4-3 game when you get a power play. That's when your big guns got to show up, and they didn't even get a shot. So you don't even gain momentum off of it. So I want to say both special teams units need to be much crisper and more efficient.
I toyed with the idea of thinking Arvidsson for Frederick when he whiffed on that one in front. God, I'm sure he wants that one back.
Yeah.
But come to he knows the difference. It's not like that's going to happen again. You need a presence like him. So I laid off of that idea. And yeah, just exactly what Jason said. Other than that, it was they did it to themselves in the 3rd period. I think same approach, same lineup, and we'll be fine.
Question number 3. Do you guys like the Jeff Blashill are hiring with Chicago as their next head coach?
Yeah, I've been seeing some stuff online. Like, I don't know why people have this authority that never put on a pair of skates, or even some that have, to put this guy down so much. Look. He went into Detroit. Weren't they rebuilding? And he's been around a proven winner on the bench. You don't think he's going to take some of that experience into Chicago? I think it's not brilliant, but not far off. I think it's a good signing.
I'm like, you know what? If you don't have good players, it's not going to matter who your head coach.
Yeah.
And so I don't get that wrapped up in it. Like, oh my God, Jeff Blashill is going to be the problem solver. If they don't get better players, it's not going to matter. Now, what he did in Detroit, the first few years, people talk about, hey, we really liked them, but the last few years, they never saw any improvement. Now, he was there for a long time for a losing team. That's a little surprising. So I would say, how's he going to handle Bedard, and what type of players is he going to get? Because if they give him similar type roster that they've had in the past, guess what? Nothing's going to change. They're not going to be a good team. And honestly, they're still a few years away. So you know what? Good for Blashill to take it because there's only 32 NHL jobs, but he's not really putting himself in a position for great success unless he firmly believes that, they can have a quick improvement here. I think it's going to be hard.
Question number 4, we saw Halliburton hit another huge shot for the Pacers last night, sending that game into overtime, just about an inch away from just ending it in regulation. But when it comes to buzzer beater / game-winning shots in basketball, you have one that's your favorite.
Is that me? I was a moderate basketball fan and still am. And Michael Jordan, I looked up to him as an athlete, and he had quite a few of those. But the one that I remember that I was watching that really stands out to me because of the time on the clock was Derek Fisher. Would have been mid-2000s, and they were playing the Spurs. There's only like 0.5 seconds left, and he got it and got the shot off, and the Lakers won. Maybe it was watching it live, but I remember thinking there's no possible way that this shot can get off. And sure enough, not only did he take it, but went in.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm actually one of the more memorable ones for me, and I know this is kind of random, but I still remember it. Syracuse in Pittsburgh, and I'm going with Tyler Ennis, the Canadian, not the hockey player Tyler Ennis, but the other Tyler Ennis.
All right, I like it. For me, it's always going to be Kawhi against the Sixers. Final.
Oh yeah, well that's what. That is probably one of the more memorable ones ever, just because, how it bounces and delays and bounces and then the crowd goes nuts. That's a real good one, Cons.
I thought you guys might take that one, so I had to throw it out there. Final question for you guys today. It was on this day in 1996, Mission Impossible starring Tom Cruise was released. And today, the final reckoning out with the Mission Impossible franchise. So of all Tom Cruise's movies, what would you say is your favorite?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go with Cocktail. I know that's kind of funny, but I quite like. I'm going off the board here because, there's lots of his other action ones, but I thought in Cocktail was pretty good. And I know TR's jacket, so I know who he's picking right now. I know exactly who he's taking.
No, you don't. You know what?
You're taking Top Gun for sure.
Who?
Top Gun.
Oh, Top Gun. Yeah, I love Top Gun. I nearly said Tropic Thunder because it surprised me so much, but my favorite, I'd be lying if one of my favorite movies of all time is The Color of Money. And The Color of Money is Paul Newman, Fast Eddie Felson, and Vince, forget his name, Vince Loria, I think maybe he comes on the scene, and he's a young punk kind of thing. But the thing is, this is a sequel to The Hustler, which was Jackie Gleason and Paul Newman.
Yes.
Like 25 years before that. So, and I'd watched that growing up on the VHS. So when the movie came out, even though it was like I was only like 10 years old, I remember watching it with my dad. It's one of the first adult kind of movies I watched. And then I went back recently and watched again. I just think it's a masterpiece given all the subcontext hidden within.
Ooh, good one. Cons, what about you?
Oh, Tropic Thunder would be up there, but I just don't feel like he has a big enough role in it for me to give him that one. But I would probably go with Jerry Maguire. I love the sports mixing. Rod Tidwell.
The money.
Yeah, absolutely. Got his guy paid at the end of the day. So that would probably be my favorite.
Okay. Yeah.
All the Mission Impossible movies are good, though. Like, good entertainment.
I can't wait.
Cons. I like how Cons, he shied away. He really liked the love scene, like the love speech when Jerry Maguire comes back to her. And, you had me at hello.
Hello, yeah.
Oh yeah.
One of Cons' favorites, right?
Top rom-com, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
So now, TR, as I'm watching you, and you're getting your motorcycle license. Like, are you also going to get like some Brill cream? Are we expecting you to have like the slick back hairstyle now that you got your leather jacket?
I don't know where this is going to go. Yeah, you got that's some great questions. I would think that all of the above, the complete package. I'm going to try everything, all styles, whatever.
You don't have shoulder pads in that jacket, do you?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, does it have like are you going to get a leather jacket maybe with like some sort of like maybe your logo on the back?
I know. I'm thinking that too, right? Leather vest with the tails with TR logo.
Oh my God. Now, does Tolo have his own bike? Like, are you guys going to have your own bike gang now? Like the cruisers?
He does.
Yeah.
He actually does.
You guys are
a video out there you can check out
like
called
60
Ride.
kilometers down the highway, people honking the horn. Hurry up. Hurry up.
Well, it might be a decent idea. Shout out to Scott Thornton. Scott used to sit next to me in the dressing room, and I know he was into bikes. And I said someday, and I told him, I said, you know what? I can see it happening when I'm 50 years old, and I'm 48 now. So, but I was thinking about it for no other reason than I wanted to. I just want to see what it's like to drive a Harley, and I'm going to do this responsibly, and Dolo knows that. So it was an unbelievable surprise. Like, there's no catch to this. I went to the lady at Harley. I said, like, did you guys give this out free? Because we did an appearance there.
Yeah.
They paid us. And she said, no. And she goes, I gave him a deal, but he bought that for you. And, I know Dolo's not a millionaire. So, like, it was a real, it really still takes me aback, right? Like, it's really a wild gesture from a good friend.
Well, I can tell you that. So did you play with Thornton and Cape Breton?
No, in Montreal.
In Montreal, okay. So Scott Thornton, I still remember I met Scott Thornton when I was just young guy, 23, whatever, at Barry Tees. I was just like a young hockey guy, knew a lot of stuff. As a sports fan, and I ran into him at Barry Tees. Was talking, hey, you're Scott, and kind of looks at me and he's kind of like, what? He's like, yeah, no one's ever really recognized me in the city. I'm like, oh yeah, don't worry about it. I'm a big hockey fan, whatever, right? And I knew the bar, and so him and I ended up kind of becoming like quasi. He would send me, hey man, you want a pair of tickets? And he would just give me tickets.
Wild.
So
he's that kind of guy that doesn't surprise me one bit.
Nicest guy. And I Scott Thornton was quietly, deceptively tough.
Hey man,
he could.
First thing I noticed. I mean, I was in the room, Jason. He was a power forward that got. I mean, I went 8th overall. So I looked up. I mean, I think he was a top.
Oh, he went 3rd overall, dude.
3rd overall, right? And came in, and the thing is, when he was in Montreal, I got to know him well because I was there like at my whole 19-year-old year. Right? I only played 3 or 4 games. So, and he wasn't playing a whole lot. I think you could almost say he was being misused, but I could tell like he was in practice. I'm like, geez, this guy's so powerful, and he was getting fights more than anybody. He was tough and he was good. And I said, this wouldn't surprise me if at some point this guy gets 20 or 30 goals. But it took San Jose, man. Years later, he went to San Jose and they put him in a big time role there. And I mean, it didn't surprise me at all because I was seeing him in practice in the NHL going. And his talent never really came to fruition. Through a lot of the time, no fault of his own, until he went to San Jose. It was good to see. He became a real impactful power forward, and was one of the nice. I still talk to him. I mean, one of the nicest players I've ever met. Yeah, really
nice guy. So, that's my Scott Thornton story. He's just one of the more genuine nice guys I think I've ever met. Kind of the opposite of Kirk Maltby, but that's a different story. TR, have yourself an awesome day, and we will chat with you next Tuesday when we'll be lining up Game 4 of the Oilers and the Panthers. Does Edmonton come home with the split, or does Dallas take the first 2? What's your thoughts about tomorrow night?
100%. They take the split. I'd drive up if I could. It's just a little too far away, but I'll talk to you Tuesday, and I'm sure we got lots to talk about.
Awesome. There you go. That's Terry Ryan joins us Tuesday, Thursdays here on Sports 1440. Quick break. Speck will join us from the Big D after Connor Halley, and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Booster Juice. Right now, the new Dragon Fruit lineup. Dragon Slayer Smoothie, the Pink Dragon Booster Mixer, and Dragon Booster Ball. Conquer your cravings at Booster Juice today.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Just one game on the ice tonight in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Got Canes Panthers meeting in Raleigh. That one gets going just after 6 o'clock. Panthers leading 1-0 so far. Changes in Toronto as Brendan Shannon's time with the Leafs is over. The team announcing that they will not renew his contract after 11 seasons with the organization. At the IIHF World Championships, Canada shocked, falling to Denmark 2-1. With that, the semifinals go Saturday. Sweden versus the U.S. and Switzerland taking on Denmark. In the association, you got the Thunder and T-Wolves meeting in OKC. Tip-off 6:30. OKC leads that series 1-0. In the majors, the Jays completed the sweep over the Padres earlier today, winning in extras 7-6. You also had the Angels coming back to beat the Athletics 10-5. Phillies over the Rockies 2-0, and the Rangers fall to the Yankees 1-0. Right now, Braves have a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the first. Phillies on top of the Pirates 3-1. Tigers Guardians scoreless in the second. In the PWHL, you got game 2 tonight. League Championship with the Frost meeting the Charge out in our nation's capital. Ottawa currently leading that 1-0. And the Stingers in Saskatoon for a meeting with the Rattlers. That gets going at 7:30. You can watch it on TSN+. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we will be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet and Derek Van Diest from NHL.com. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Garage Superstore by Premier Built Garages is the ultimate destination for everything garage. Storage solutions and cabinets? Garage Superstore has it. Vehicle hoists? Got those too. Durable polyaspartic floor coatings? You bet. From mess to masterpiece, one garage at a time. And when it's time to eat, Traeger Grills brings the heat with wood-fired flavor that can't be beat. Need it? They've got it at Garage Superstore by Premier Built Garages. Visit their massive 8,000 square foot showroom at Calgary Trail and 34th or garagesuperstore.ca.
Hold on to your hockey helmet, Edmonton. On the Rocks is serving up 60-cent wings that fly off the plate faster than a slap shot.
Connor Halley rolling through a Thursday.
$5.25. OTR's TVs, hey, they're so clear you'll see the puck better than the ref. That ain't hard, is it? And every game night during Edmonton's playoff run, specials start 30 minutes before puck drop and last for the whole game. Be a part of the legend. See the menu at ontherocks.yeg.com.
Get moving with Volvo and save big for summer during the May sales event at Volvo Cars Edmonton. It's the final month to lease or finance a 2025 XC90 plug-in hybrid from 1.49% and save $5,000. Lease or finance a 2025 XC60 plug-in hybrid from 0.49% and save $3,000. Lease or finance a 2025 XC40 from 0.49% and save up to $2,000. Volvo Cars Edmonton. Great vehicles, better services. Only at VolvoCarsEdmonton.com.
If you bleed orange and blue and you're not using the all-new Play Alberta Sports and Casino app, then you're missing out. It's the only online sportsbook with odds boosts on all Oilers games. And now, it's not just sports. Play the slots, hit the tables, buy lottery tickets, all in one app, all across Alberta. Download Play Alberta now from your phone's app store and use promo code GOAL for a $100 bonus. That's promo code
Hey campers, Brent Fullerton from Carefree RV. If you're looking to make this year's camping season just a little extra Canadian, we have you covered. We carry travel trailers and motorhomes that are Canadian built by great companies like ProLite and Road Trek. Come see our selection in store or online and keep it Canadian at carefreerv.ca.
Weeds. They're inevitable. Trust Green Drop with 100% guaranteed programs, including drought fighter and disease control at no extra cost. Book now and get 10% early bird savings.
Canada's lawn expert since 1979. Visit greendrop.com.
Explore Internet just got 10 times faster. 5G Ultra brings incredible speeds to homes in rural and small town Canada. Upgrade today at xplore.ca.
At Fountain Tire, we're all about one thing, taking care of your vehicle. Oh, and your wallet. I guess that's two things. Save up to 20% off select tires until June 14th. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Garage Superstore by Premier Built Garages, your one-stop shop for everything garage, from accessories and storage solutions to cabinets, vehicle hoists, storage racks, and Traeger grills. We've got everything you need to maximize your space. Visit our 8,000 square foot showroom at Calgary Trail and 34th Ave or online at garagesuperstore.ca.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 5 o'clock. How are you? Jason Gregor, Connor Halley. You make your way home. A sunny day out. I like it. Nice. Man, the weekend's looking good. A little bit of heat. Geez, everything's going to grow. We had some good rain, which is nice. Now we get a little bit of heat. baby, it's a good mix. How many of you on a Sunday afternoon, maybe, you know what, you'll be setting up some viewing outside. You're like, let's just move that TV outdoors, baby, a little matinee game. And if it's super hot, 30 degrees, you'd be like, I don't mind sitting inside for a bit. We'll see. Either way, it could be a fun Sunday afternoon. Well, maybe depends on how game 2 goes. We'll see. Sports 1440, the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Let's get to the spec report, brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialist, and they're hiring. If you're looking to work for a fantastic company with great opportunities to grow and expand, well, guess what? Go to gsconstruction.com and they'll help you out. As we go out to Dallas, Mark Spector was in the building of green last night in Dallas. And Spec, I'm sure you're sitting there, you got your story after 40 minutes and thinking, man, the Edmonton Oilers, what a mature professional game they played. And then bingo, bango, bongo, it changed.
Yeah, I think I was having a conversation with a guy from Dallas and basically saying when McDavid and Draisaitl play this well, they don't lose that. And they play well defensively. I told the guy, I said, they don't always win, but they don't lose many. And that equation changed because they stopped playing well defensively. They took a bunch of penalties. We all know what happened. So, you know, everybody around this team today that you talk to, they know they wasted one last night. They know they lost a big fish for sure that they had on the hook. And they will proceed accordingly with that in mind.
Do you see a lineup change coming? Does Arvidsson get back in, or are they just going to stick status quo because the 5-on-5 game was pretty good?
Yeah, I don't see one coming. That doesn't mean one isn't. But, you know, I think Trent Frederick didn't play much last night. But I don't see you trading guys out. Like you say, you know, your 5-on-5 game was good. When they were rolling 4 lines, they were the better team by far. So the issue, you know, unless you had some fantastic penalty killer sitting in the sidelines, and no, Matthias Ekholm isn't playing tomorrow, according to the coach. So other than that move, that'd be the only move I could see coming.
Yeah, I would agree with you. What about Dallas? Like Matt Duchene, some interesting comments. Hey, you know what? You feel great when you don't have your A game and you win, right? And here's the thing. Edmonton, I said, was the faster team going in. They showed they were the quicker team. So what did Dallas talk about what they want to do different 5-on-5? Because now they're getting away with dominating special teams. I think their special teams are the main reason why they beat Colorado and Winnipeg. So it's not going to change unless Edmonton stops them. But did Dallas talk at all about what they would like to do better 5-on-5?
Well, no, to be honest, they held the availability as Jason at the exact same time, and one of them was in Frisco, which is about 40 minutes away from me. So I was not at the Dallas one.
Okay.
So I'm sorry. I wish I could help you with that, but I won't BS you here. I don't know what Dallas said, frankly.
What do you see, though? What did you see in that game that you think Dallas could do better?
Well, that's it. Like they didn't win their battles at 5-on-5, and it was 2 different games. It's like Connor McDavid said. 40 minutes great, 20 minutes awful. Mm-hmm. You know, and in the 40 minutes great, Dallas didn't win their battles. Dallas wasn't the quicker team. Dallas wasn't, you know, they had a hard time getting the puck off of Edmonton when they started cycling. Edmonton had extended zone time in the Dallas end. Everything was good, Edmonton. Like, that's why you can't overreact with the Oilers and change a bunch of stuff. You know, Dallas needed Edmonton to present them with opportunity by taking penalties before they then pounced on that and very successfully took the game away from Edmonton. So I give Dallas credit, but you know, my question would be, if I'm Edmonton, I'm just trying to fix the part where I allowed the momentum to change by going to the box for 3 or 4 in a row. If I change that, I question whether Dallas ever gets back into that game last night. Don't you?
100%. Like, to me, it was like, hey, we got 58 seconds to kill off, and then we just get back to 5-on-5, and we're dominating there. Like, that's
right.
You know, and they gave up that goal. You know, Janmark would have liked to see him in the lane better. Skinner look around the screen better. I think it was a combination of both on that goal. But then Corey Perry's penalty, just that's a penalty you can't take from a guy who tied Larry Robinson for the 7th most playoff games in history. You cannot take an offensive zone cross-checking penalty at that stage of the game, especially when your penalty kill's struggling.
You did. He did. And it was a brutal penalty. And, you know, Corey's done that. He's never been a guy that wasn't in the box once in a while. That's part of Corey Perry. But that was a very, you know, listen, the details, right? It's the details. You said one of them. Janmark, as Nurse said after the game, if we're going to screen our goalie, we better block shots better. You know, Skinner said after the game, I looked around the left side of that bunch of guys. I should have looked around the right side. I mean, that's the goalie not getting the job done. That's Janmark not getting the job done. That's Corey Perry not going out there and thinking, this isn't a time to cross-check someone in the face. We can't have another penalty here. They got the momentum. We've got to stop this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a series of guys making the wrong decision and not being attentive to the details of being a winning hockey team. And you stack 2-3 bad decisions on each other, and you get what we got last night, man. You get a ball that's rolling downhill, and the Oilers could not stop it.
I know they always say, hey, our power play is going to get on track, but their power play in the third period of a 1-goal game, and you got no shots on goal. And Draisaitl said, hey, I can't say much about the penalty kill. We need to kill, but we got a power play, and we're just as bad. And to me, well, McDavid, he's got to shoot the damn puck. Like, he's in the middle of the ice and he's still dishing out. They're not respected. They're just saying he won't shoot the puck. And so they're taking out Leon Draisaitl and that pass, and the Oilers still try to force it through. Like, eventually McDavid, who showed us before he can score by scoring 64 goals, is going to have to shoot the puck here.
There's some things that have to, certainly on both special teams. I mean, the penalty kill has not been good this year. It was middle of the pack all season. Now, I will say I did the math on this. I don't remember the exact numbers, but they, the first 3 games of the LA series, LA scored all their goals. In the last 3 games, I think they scored once or none.
Yep.
In the first 2 games of the Vegas series, Vegas scored all their goals. In the last 3 games of the Vegas series, Vegas did not score a power play goal.
Yeah.
So the good news is, they figure it out. Right now, I don't know if you can keep giving games away with this bad PK and figure it out and catch up, because that's what they've been doing. I don't love that strategy at this time of year. The power play is the same thing, Jay. Like, when's the last time you saw Draisaitl with a really good chance from his office? It's been a long time. When's the last time McDavid was pumping a puck off of Hyman's really strong stick and it's deflecting in from 3 feet out? We haven't seen that in a really long time. Those are 2 hallmarks of this power play that have been taken away by opposing teams now it's not just Dallas. Vegas took it away. LA took it away. So they got to get Glenn Gulletson and those guys, they got to find some new ways to score. If it's Bouchard shooting more often, if it's McDavid actually shooting the puck more often, you can't hang around and wait for Draisaitl's office to open up again. You can't hang around and wait for someone to leave Hyman open in front of the net. That ain't happening anymore. They got to adapt.
Yeah.
What do they say? Adapt or die, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's time to adapt for the Edmonton Oilers. No question.
Mark Spector joins us. Spec, Connor Brown's injury stems from the block shot. It's obviously a foot injury. I don't think there's any debate. That's where he blocked the shot. Anybody who watched the game would see it. Didn't really notice it. He didn't seem to be held up by it or not, but I don't know if you've had a chance to talk to him. How much of a factor do you think that is for Brown?
Well, I watched him, whatever he did to be able to play last night, he didn't look slow. He didn't look slow. I didn't mind his skating. Now, you never know what that entails. Like, guys are taking needles at this time of year or so, and that's never good. So, I can't tell you anything. Like, we did talk to him today. He said he's fine. They all say they're fine, Jason, right?
Yeah.
They all say they're fine. So I just go by the mantra here. If you're going to play, then you better damn well be able to play. And don't go out there and not be able to play, especially when you're Connor Brown and you got to kill penalties. Like, this penalty kill situation has hit critical mass here in Edmonton again.
Yeah. Well, what did Brown say about
what kill penalties or stop? Or not play, one of the two. Sorry?
What did Brown say about the penalty kill?
Oh, I said to him, like, this thing is not working, and it hasn't been working. And, how focused are we on this? And he said, hey, when you got a hole in your lineup like we have, we're looking at this thing every day. To paraphrase him, he said, don't think we don't know that this is a problem. Don't think we're just thinking, it'll get better by itself. They're going over video, and they're working at it. Listen, I think you know this, Jason. I'm going to say it anyway. This team, like every team, we've learned this isn't the NBA. You don't win championships with McDavid and Draisaitl. We all know that by now. So in last night's game was a microcosm for me. McDavid and Draisaitl did what they do. They were fantastic. The power play did score one goal, Jay, last night.
Yeah.
You know, a crucial goal early in the game. And so the power play did its job. You only asked for one a night. The rest of the team let the thing down last night. The PK guys, the bottom of the roster guys, the Browns, the Janmarks, the Kulaks, who was in the box twice. Evander Kane lost his guy and had to do a high stick. Corey Perry made a poor play, a poor decision. The rest of this team let the effort down last night. And if you notice after the game and today, I wrote about this today, Draisaitl, who does not PK, came out and criticized the PK. And that is very rare. That doesn't happen much in professional hockey. And McDavid, who seldom PKs, came out and said today that PK cost us a game last night. So there is a lot of internal pressure, I guarantee you, inside that room of the core guys that got to help the big boys get this thing to the finish line. They didn't hold up their end of the ball last night, and don't think they don't know it.
Yeah, no, the penalty kill, although McDavid has been on the penalty kill, him and Zach Hyman quite a bit. So
a little bit more now,
yeah,
for sure. But I don't consider him a core penalty killer around here, I don't think. Do you?
Well, in the playoffs I have, actually, yeah. Him and Hyman are kind of like, they basically, it starts Nugent Hopkins and Henrique. And if once they clear the puck, they're off. Then Brown and Janmark, and then McDavid and Hyman will be coming out right after them. Right? We don't see Podkolzin and because in the regular season it was Podkolzin and Kapanen, who was the third pair, and now it's become McDavid. Now he's not out there as much as the other guys, but he's still part of it, so he kind of knows what's going on. And now
he wasn't on for a goal against last night.
No,
right? Him and Draisaitl sat on the bench next to each other, watching all those goals go in, and that wasn't a great sight.
No, not at all. Right? Like now to that point, Dallas didn't have a great answer for either one of those two, right? Like whatever matchups they had, Edmonton was like, sure, keep rolling them out there. Do you think Dallas switches up anything in regards to matchups for tomorrow?
There's no switch to make.
Yeah.
You know, they got Harley and Heiskanen.
Yeah.
And McDavid challenged Heiskanen every chance he got last night, and he blew around Harley at one point. I think it would have been the second period.
Yeah, it came right down the right side and went right by
the
him.
right side and blew past him. So that's your best pair, right? So no, Pete DeBoer doesn't have two better defensemen somewhere to bring out and play against these guys. So, you know, I don't think the Stars' defense is as good as some people think they are.
They're not that mobile. I've said it all year long, right? Now, because the one thing I did notice, though, Spec, was Lindell and Heiskanen played 3.5 minutes together in the second half of that game. So
they changed.
Bit, yeah.
Or did that have to do with power plays, you think?
No, that was 5-on-5, right? So you're saying I'd have to look. Was it? Well, the one power play lasted 8 seconds, right? The Matt Duchene goal. So, and the other one was 30. Like, that's the thing. They scored 32 seconds on the coming out of the break of the intermission. Then they scored 10 seconds. So it wasn't like their PP was out there a whole bunch where other guys we got to switch up.
That's fair. But I guess I just say all I know is this, regardless of matchups, McDavid did whatever he wanted for 2 periods, and Draisaitl probably did even more. But I thought Draisaitl was the best player in the ice for 40 minutes. I know he gave a puck away and the second goal. Yeah. I thought Draisaitl was so good last night. He had 3 points. He could have had 6. So if the question is, did they handle Edmonton's big boys at 5-on-5? The answer is unequivocally they did not. So Pete DeBoer, like 30 other coaches in the league, is going to try to figure out how to handle those 2 guys tomorrow night. Good luck to him.
Spec, Brendan Shanahan is out in Toronto. Yeah. Do you think they get a president, or do they just keep a GM and not worry about a president?
Oh, they have to have both. They're keeping Tree living, according to Elliot Friedman. And listen, that organization, and my place, Rogers, is about to own 75% of them. It's such a business conglomerate. Like, they need guys like Brendan Shanahan to be president. There's so many voices. Probably that's why they don't win. Maybe it's why they don't win. It's like a giant corporation. You know, I'll bet you their front office staff, Jay, is 3 times bigger than the San Jose Sharks is, you know? So are they going to get another president? They'll probably hire 3 guys to do the job, knowing Toronto, and it won't help them win any. I mean, I don't know. That thing's turned into a bit of a mess here. If I'm running that show, I cut her way back down to less people. I don't think that's possible anymore in Toronto.
Okay.
What do you think?
Well, if they don't hire a president, and they might not, then you need another assistant GM to do some of the minutia stuff that needs to be done. But
they need a Jeff Jackson, the way Edmonton has one.
Well, no, he's a president, right? Like I would say, you could add another assistant GM if necessary. I know that teams like a president of hockey. I'm just not sure there's that many guys that are overly qualified to do the job.
Yeah, like what is the job of Brendan Shanahan? He's not making hockey trades. He's got Brad Treliving for that.
Right. But he's still Treliving. My understanding is Treliving still, like, they meet and you go over decisions. Like, he was still a guy who was, above the GM. So when Dubas is making his decisions, now I'm not saying that you nickel and dime the guy and oversee him and you're like, you can't make any trade without my approval, but there's still a little bit of an approval process, if you know what I mean.
Well, they have a board, right? That's the other problem. They can't, they can't order a dozen rolls of tape in Toronto without getting, consent of this board of people who are a bunch of suits that are probably impossible to gather around the same table. And thus is the clumsiness of an organization that is, there's just way more suits than workers there, man. Like there's another way to say it. You can't say it anymore, but there's just too many voices around the table there. They gotta, the reason Brendan Shanahan is there is he has always been a buffer between the hockey department and the suits.
Right.
And I'm not sure that I'm not sure you can just eliminate that layer of management in Toronto and move on. I'm not sure you can do that.
Okay. That's fair. Spec, enjoy the night in Dallas. We will chat with you tomorrow.
All right. Sounds good, Jay.
There you go. That's the Spec Report brought to you by GS Construction. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. You can always text us in our email inbox, 833-401-1440. Any concern? How concerned are you about the special teams? Because you have no concern about the 5-on-5, I wouldn't think. But special teams, yeah, that's a concern. Dallas is winning series because of their special teams. They were outscored 5-on-5 against Colorado. They broke even in 5-on-5 against Winnipeg, but they won the special teams battle. They have scored 15 power play goals and allowed 7 goals while they're on the PK. So they're +8 on their special teams. The Oilers are the opposite. The Oilers have allowed 14, and they've only scored 7. They're -7. Special teams, they got to wake up both parties, right? Like if you break even or come out and your 5-on-5 plays good, then you're going to win. It's that simple. But Dallas's special teams is winning them games and winning them series. It won in the game last night. There's no arguing that. So the Oilers are going to have to find a way to match it because then their 5-on-5 becomes more valuable. We'll see if they can do it. We'll return on the Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Use the promo code Gregor50 and get a free $50 play right now when you sign up or make a next deposit. PlayAlberta.ca.
Legend has foretold of a smoothie so delicious and refreshing that it could quench the thirst of a fire-breathing dragon.
But it's also a great pick-me-up after a workout. The new Dragon Slayer smoothie from Booster Juice, a legendary blend of dragon fruit and mangoes, destined to be your next obsession. Try it today along with the new Dragon Booster Ball and the Pink Dragon Booster Mixer.
3 epic menu items to conquer your cravings. Booster Juice, Canadian-born, blending since 1999.
April showers brought huge deals to Wolf GMC Buick. It's truck month all of May, and we froze our prices on in-stock inventory to save you money. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on some of our most popular Sierra pickups, or select up to $8,000 off on these amazing trucks. If you're in need of an SUV, good news, we have a great selection of Buicks and GMCs. Plus, Costco members may be eligible for an additional $1,200 discount. What are you waiting for? Spring into Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
I'm tired of waking up tired. Waking up tired. Yeah, waking up tired.
Are you tired of waking up tired? Come visit our sleep experts at the Brick Mattress Store. Get Canada's guaranteed lowest prices on all things sleep. Plus, try your new mattress for 6 months. If you don't love it, we'll find one you do. Some conditions apply. Stop waking up tired. Get the right mattress, guaranteed. Only at the Brick Mattress Store.
This is a slam dunk. Dive into Edmonton's vibrant basketball scene with exclusive interviews and expert analysis. I'm Paul Sir, and I host The Basketball Show every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440.
A pizza from Papa John's is already pretty great, but you know what's even better? 2 pizzas from Papa John's. For a limited time, get a medium 1-topping pizza for only $6 when you order any large specialty pizza at regular price. The works, the meats. Pick your favorite specialty pizza and get even more delicious Papa John's to enjoy. Whether you're feeding your family, your team, or yourself, get your next meal from your locally owned and operated Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Experience more at the Edmonton Expo Center. Come for Canada's largest trade show, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. Stay for the experience. But it doesn't end there. Maximize your brand exposure with Edmonton Expo Center's new cutting-edge feature screens, spanning Western Canada's largest venue space. Captivate an annual audience of over 1 million visitors during iconic events like Pro Rodeo, Disney on Ice, Glow, K-Days, and so much more. To learn more, call 780-660-0514 or visit edmontonexpocenter.com today.
Find the perfect tractor for any job at Edmonton Kubota. Their massive selection of compact tractors has something for everyone, whether you're tackling small tasks or big projects. And right now, take advantage of 0% financing for up to 72 months. It's never been easier to get the power and reliability you need. Come down to Edmonton Kubota today and drive away with the tractor that's just right for you. Edmonton Kubota, where your perfect tractor awaits.
Explore Internet just got 10 times faster. 5G Ultra brings incredible speeds to homes in rural and small town Canada. Upgrade today at xplore.ca.
We've finished construction of our gamma radiation containment facility. Is it up to code? Is it going to be safe?
Sounds like a job for the men and women of Action Electrical.
Testing team reporting. We test your commercial operations using tools like infrared to ensure safe operation. Trust us to prevent potential calamity before it strikes.
Facing an electrical menace? Call the men and women of Action. Operating throughout Alberta at actionelectrical.net.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. The pizza makers at Papa John's are making you 2 or more items for $9.99 each from their Papa Pairings menu, like medium 1-topping pizzas, boneless wings, cheese sticks, and more. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Hat tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$5:30. Welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram on a lovely Thursday. Of course, a doubleheader night in playoffs. Again, if you're an NBA fan, you have the MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They won game 1. They're looking to go up 2-0 against the Ant-Man tonight. Also, Gilgeous-Alexander will officially receive his MVP trophy tonight. Had his little speech last night, but he'll get the trophy before tip-off tonight. And then, of course, you have Florida and Carolina. The Cats looking to go up 2-0 on the road. It is interesting. Teams, like the lower-seeded teams in the conference finals in the salary cap era, have a record of 22-16. So that would be Florida and Edmonton this year. Could make it 24-16 if both of them win. Road teams, when they win game 1, are 12-5. So that is good news for the Florida Panthers. The Oilers, teams who lose on the road game 1, they're 10-11. Obviously not as good as 12-5, but not terrible. 10-11. It's not like the odds, because if you look at it in a lot of other series, usually you lose game run on the road, your chances of winning that series are significantly lower, like a 25% chance. So right now, it's been a 47% chance in the salary cap era. So we'll see. And the Oilers actually, they lost. They're one of the teams who lost on the road and then didn't win. So the other teams are all 500. So if the Oilers, the odds would tell you, now they win, guess what? They're 500. Teams would be 11-11. If you believe in the numbers, Oilers still got a pretty good chance. Let's get to the oil report brought to you by Volvo Cars. Edmonton, the May Day sale event is on now. It's the final month to lease a 2025 XC90 plug-in hybrid from 1.49%, and you can save an additional $5,000. Great vehicles, better service. VolvoCarsEdmonton.com. We're looking to get DVD on in a sec. We'll get to that, but we got a lot of other texts, some numbers about the Oilers and just kind of where they're going on their penalty kill. It's been a problem. You can't and hey, Connor Brown's right. It's not like the team's like, what? You mean we're struggling on specialty teams? No, they know it. Their penalty kill has simply not been good enough. You look in the playoffs, it's 62.2%. The only one worse, the LA Kings, who the Oilers dispatched of in the first round. Like you look at penalty kill, Florida's got the best. Carolina's got the second best. The Dallas Stars have the third best. The Oilers are the outlier. Their penalty kill's brutal. They got to figure it out. Then you look at power plays in the playoffs. The Stars are second. Carolina's fourth. The Oilers are fifth. And Florida's seventh. So they're all pretty good. But the penalty kill, Edmonton's got to find a way. Now, the good news is that their 5-on-5 scoring has been exceptional, right? The Oilers, 5-on-5, second most goals in the playoffs, only behind Florida. And Florida's played more games. Then you got Dallas comes in at fourth with 22. Now, they've obviously played way more games than some of these other teams. Like St. Louis has one fewer 5-on-5 goal than the Stars, and they played half as many games, right? Like Dallas has actually been outscored 24-22 5-on-5. And that's where Edmonton, they're probably going to end up winning the series 5-on-5. They just have to find a way to have a respectful penalty kill. Like you can't be giving up 3 goals like they did that right last night. That was and 3 goals in 5 minutes and 26 seconds. So they got to be better. Just that simple. Hey, Greggs, do you think teams have a blueprint on how to stop the Oilers' penalty kill because of Florida's aggressive nature? Nope. Did you see Vegas's penalty kill? Wasn't aggressive at all. Oilers' first few games? Sure. So Florida beat them by being super aggressive. Vegas didn't. I don't really buy into teams have solved the Oilers' power play because, as I mentioned, the Oilers' power play, like, I think people have such a unrealistic expectation. Oh, they've solved the power play. I'm like, oh, yeah? What's the Oilers' power play at? Well, it's at 26%. Does that sound like it solved it? No, it's not 35. So they've figured out a little bit. That might be more accurate. But anybody claiming they've figured out their power play? No. They did score a goal, albeit broken play, but everybody gets a broken play. Stetcher falling down with Johnson, that opened up that lane for Duchesne to get a few whacks at it. So it definitely happens. But I look at Edmonton and I think their power play, their finishing ability hasn't been there. If you actually look at chances and shots created, it's still pretty high. So that's good. And you can say that eventually it'll get going. The problem is you don't have eventually on your side. You just don't in the playoffs. You got 6 more games maximum in this series. So you got to find a way to get your power play going sooner than later. It's just that simple. Hey, guys, if the Oilers make the Cup finals, do they get home ice advantage? Or does it go by seeding? Well, it goes by league standings. Whoever has the most points amongst the East and the West teams, and it's automatically going to be Edmonton or Dallas. Whoever wins the West will get home ice advantage in the Stanley Cup final. Dallas had 106 points. The Oilers had 101. Carolina had 99. Florida had 98. So, Florida, once they made it to the conference finals, they weren't going to have home ice the rest of the way. And they probably don't care. They're pretty good on the road as they improved again last night. Now, the Oilers, they've been good on the road this year. They'll have to find a way to get back to that. And I liked a lot of their game. It's really like it wasn't even the whole third period. It was really that 6 minutes to start the third period that was awful. Right? It was awful. But other than that, I quite like their game. So clean up your special teams. Now, the Oilers did have a few chances when they were up 3-1, who could have made it 4-1. So I look at Edmonton's special teams. And I got these tagged. Gregor, why is their penalty kill so much worse? Well, I got 3 answers for you. Cody Ceci, Vincent Desharnais, Matthias Ekholm. That's 3 of your 4 penalty killers. Who were your main penalty killers last year? Both guys on the right side and 1 guy on the left. Bigger bodies, Desharnais blocked a ton of shots. Right? Those little details matter. Right? Like, so everyone's, you know what, special teams doesn't matter. I always kind of chuckle at that. What do you mean it doesn't matter? The goals per minute played are so infinitely higher than 5-on-5. It matters a lot. Especially later in the playoffs. I know last night was a little bit of an exception because they scored 9 total goals. Lots of these games now, you get to the conference final, it's 3-1, it's 2-1, it's 3-2. A goal is massive. And so even if you only have 2 penalty kills and you give up a goal, so you gave up a goal in 3.5 minutes? And then you only gave up another goal in the other 56.5 minutes. Well, of course it matters. Matters a ton. And the Oilers' 5-on-5 scoring really was the main reason that they won their first 2 rounds. So they got to get going. Now, their power play was really good against LA. I should take that back. Their power play was really good against LA, but not good enough since. And their penalty kills just giving up too much. So I'm interested to see. Edmonton has always bounced back. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, Greggs, what's your concern about Skinner? This is kind of who Stuart Skinner is. Right? I've outlined it many times. So Stuart Skinner, he can have a tough game. He's shown he bounces back. Sometimes that tough game turns into 2. That's what he can't have here. Right? It can't be like game 1 and followed by game 2 of LA series. Can't do it. There's no Calvin Pickard to bring in for game 3. He's not ready. So you need Stuart Skinner to get back on track. So in the last 2 years, Skinner's played 29 playoff games. In 5 of them, awful. He allowed 25 goals. He had a .798 save percentage in 5 games. Brutal. Right? It's not good enough. In the other 24, he has a 2.12 goals against and a .915 save percentage. Like, those are very good numbers in today's NHL. Very good. But you can't have 24 where you're consistent and then 5 where you're just horrific. Right? You just can't do it. I know someone's like, well, Gregor can't include his shutouts. What do you mean? Okay, take out his shutouts. You know what it changes? His goals against average is now 2.3. Not much different. Like, goals, to me, goals against matters more than save percentage. So I don't care what his save percentage in those bad games. He's allowed 25 goals. Not good enough. But he only allowed 51 total. Think about that. He allowed 25 goals in 5 games and 51 goals in the other 24. Right? Significant difference. So even if you take out the shutouts for a back-to-back against Vegas, his goals against average goes up slightly from 2.14 to 2.31. Not much of a difference. And his save percentage doesn't change because in a few of those shutouts, he only had 18, 19 shots. So it's not going to bring your shooting percentage down significantly. Actually went down 2 points, 9-14 and 9-12. That really make much of a difference? No, it doesn't. So 24 games, Skinner's fine. But when he isn't fine, it's blatantly obvious. And that's the issue. And I've said that's the issue. And to me, when I went back and looked the year they won they went all the way to Memorial Cup for Swift Current. They got yarded out of the games a few times, 4 times. So to me, that's a mental, it's not, the goalie coach is suddenly not teaching him something, right? That's a focus. On that 4th goal last night, I think Stuart Skinner lost focus. And get back, because when he's focused, like in the first 40 minutes, did anybody have any complaints about his game? Nope. You have a 6-minute stretch, not good. Just you can't have it compound where it's 1, 2, 3. Can't do it. Just got to be a few. So 5:42, we'll return. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley. We'll get to a little bit more on the orders, but also some other news around the hockey and sporting world. And the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Get moving with Volvo and save big for summer during the May sales event at Volvo Cars Edmonton. It's the final month to lease or finance a 2025 XC90 plug-in hybrid from 1.49% and save $5,000. Lease or finance a 2025 XC60 plug-in hybrid from 0.49% and save $3,000. Lease or finance a 2025 XC40 from 0.49% and save up to $2,000. Volvo Cars Edmonton. Great vehicles, better services. Only at VolvoCarsEdmonton.com.
Silent Ice Sports and Entertainment is an innovative market leader across Western Canada with sports and entertainment properties, including the Spruce Grove Saints, the Junior Prospects Hockey League, Silent Rides Charter Company, the Hockey Super League, and the newly launched Female Super League. Silent Ice also owns the Western Hockey League's Seattle Thunderbirds and operates the Morinville AAA Arena. The Silent Ice Center, a new state-of-the-art entertainment facility, is open in Nisku, which features 2 sheets of ice, including a 1,600-seat arena and a restaurant with a viewing area.
A pizza from Papa John's is already pretty great, but you know what's even better? 2 pizzas from Papa John's. For a limited time, get a medium 1-topping pizza for only $6 when you order any large specialty pizza at regular price. The works, the meats. Pick your favorite specialty pizza and get even more delicious Papa John's to enjoy. Whether you're feeding your family, your team, or yourself, get your next meal from your locally owned and operated Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Garage Superstore by Premier Built Garages is the ultimate destination for everything garage. Storage solutions and cabinets? Garage Superstore has it. Vehicle hoists? Got those too. Durable polyaspartic floor coatings? You bet. From mess to masterpiece, one garage at a time. And when it's time to eat, Traeger Grills brings the heat with wood-fired flavor that can't be beat. Need it? They've got it at Garage Superstore by Premier Built Garages. Visit their massive 8,000 square foot showroom at Calgary Trail and 34th or garagesuperstore.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions take one for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Zach Hyman. Are you ready, guys?
We were born ready. Heck yes, Nuge. Drop the beat. Legacy, Legacy. We freaking killed it, Nuge. That's what I'm talking about, Zachary Martin Hyman.
Nice guys. We're going to sell a lot of air conditioners.
Hey, doesn't Legacy offer no payments and no interest for a year on those?
Yeah, well, thanks for the assist on the copy points there, Nuge.
It's just what I do.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Hey, Alberta. The all-new Play Alberta app is here. Casino, sports betting, lottery, all in one app, right on your phone. And because it's Play Alberta, you know it's safe, secure, and reliable. Download it now and play over 500 online casino games, live dealer tables, and unique games you'll love. Plus, bet on sports from anywhere in the province. You in? Download Play Alberta now from your phone's app store and deposit using promo code OIL for a $100 casino bonus on the house. That's promo code OIL for a $100 casino bonus.
Here at Cooperators, we can help you invest in a way that's right for you. Like the starting to invest later has to be better than never plan. Talk to us today about how we can turn the investing goals you've made into investing realities.
Looking for a local Cooperators representative? Give Camrose Insurance Financial Solutions a call at 780-672-9251 and see the difference a personalized plan makes. Cooperators, investing in your future together.
Spring has sprung at the Varsity. Fresh new flavors are here just in time for the sunshine. Meet the delicious new spring feature menu with choices like the Spring Fling Burger and the Bourbon Glazed Brisket Sandwich, served with endless forever fries. Try the new Hearty Beef Stew and the Pulled Beef Rib Poutine too. No meal is complete without dessert. Sip on the new Leprechaun or Bailey's milkshakes for some extra goodness. Check out the Varsity at White Mud Crossing. Find the full menu and order online at varsityburgers.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. We offer sale, rental, repair, and calibration of hydraulic, pneumatic, and battery-powered torque wrenches, stud tensioners, and flange maintenance equipment. Order today at cantork.com.
Hat tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
547. Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley. Derek Van Diest joins us from Dallas, and DVD, the Dallas Stars, the Edmonton Oilers, of course, a media day today in between games. Not a lot of skating for either team, but the focus in Edmonton is going to be on the penalty kill, obviously, and really on their special teams. You know, the power play after a good series against LA has not been good enough. I know it scored a goal last night, but you know, when there was a 4-3 game and they got a power play opportunity, they didn't give it a shot on goal. So, you know, Leon Draisaitl said, hey, we got to be better there. But the penalty kill needs to improve. It's not like they can do much real personnel changes. It's just the guys they got going got to be better.
Yeah, they do. They got to be better. And it's the little things, Jason, because I know, you know, last night, the first power play goal that came was kind of a sifter from the point, and no one really got in the lane, and then no one kind of cleared the traffic in front of the net. And Stu Skinner said he looked on the wrong side of the screen, so he didn't see the puck. He looked to the left, and he should have looked to the right. Just little things like that. And even the second power play goal, Connor Brown and Matthias Janmark have the puck. They go off on a rush, and you're thinking to yourself, you're watching this, if nothing's really going to develop, you're thinking, roll it in the corner, go off for a change, get the other unit on. But they lose possession of the puck, have to come race back into the zone, and they get caught running around for the second goal. Like, it was a great shot by Granlund. Again, another screen in front. I don't think Stuart Skinner saw it till it was already past him. And that was the situation there. And then the third one was kind of just one of those unlucky bounces. I thought Stuart Skinner kind of quit on the play. Like, he looked like he stopped at one side of the post and then kept trying to come around to make the save. So it's the little things that they're not doing and they were doing last year so well. And I think that's what's catching up to them. And you know, we talked about this with Chris Knobloch today, and he said, we got to just fix it. We got to keep working on it, fix it. But I don't see that there's going to be a lot of different personnel changes. If and when Matthias Ekholm comes back, obviously that'll help out a little bit. But yeah, it's basically up to the penalty killers, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins said this today. They got to be better, and it's got to be those little things. You got to get in the lanes. You got to win the battles. You got to do the little things that made you so successful. When you get a chance to clear the puck, you got to clear the puck. You can't give them second and third opportunities to keep it in.
Do you think there's any way Arvidsson draws in, or do they just go with status quo because they were so good 5-on-5?
There might be an opportunity. Arvidsson presents a little different. I don't think Dallas is as physical a team as Vegas was, and so I think they may need some more speed, or they may need some, a little more grit in the corners. So he provides a little bit of that. They may make some changes. I think, it's tough to change a lineup when you're winning all the time. So they may make some changes here, tweak things up a little bit. He may draw back in. Chris Knobloch said it wasn't anything he did. It's just that, they needed a bigger body in Kapanen. So that's why Kapanen drew in the end of the Vegas series, and that's why he scored the big goal. So he got to stay in the lineup. So there might be some changes tomorrow. It'll be interesting to see. But the problem is we won't get a good read on it because Connor Brown is not, I don't expect him to take the morning skate. He said, I asked him today how he's doing. He said it was just maintenance. So he hasn't taken the morning skate. I don't think he's practiced since the second round. I'm not sure. I can't remember if he was on the ice the first day or not.
No, Brown practiced one day in Edmonton. Yeah.
Okay. So he did practice one day. So not the second. So yeah. So he said he's doing maintenance. So, you could look at those line rushes tomorrow morning, and if Brown's not there, it doesn't necessarily mean he's not in the lineup, because that was the situation yesterday. He didn't take part in the morning skate. He was hanging around. He was in a good mood. That's why I didn't think that he was out of the lineup. But we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Derek Van Diest joins us, Sports 1440. You look at Dallas, and they're all happy because they won without playing, quote, their A game. Do you think they have the speed to match Edmonton? Because at 5-on-5, even when it was 4-3, Edmonton, Connor Brown hit the goal post, like they still created more chances. Do you think the Stars actually have the speed to keep up to Edmonton 5-on-5?
No, I don't. I don't think they have the speed, and I don't think they're big enough, and I don't think they're strong enough, and I think that their star players are hurting. I think Jason Robertson, people, they flat out asked him yesterday, are you healthy? And he kind of dodged the question, and he went around it. So he's not 100%. You look at Miro Heiskanen is coming back from knee surgery. The Oilers really went after him. Like, they said, okay, we're going to test out this knee. And they went after him. Heiskanen did well, but I think that's going to continue. He's not getting up and down the ice as smoothly as he usually does. He's still winning battles. He's still making good passes out of the zone. So I think that's going to be interesting there And then, as far as that, they don't have a lot of speedsters on that team. And you look at, Sagan, he's got the coming off the hip surgery, and, Ben is playing a third or fourth line role now. So they don't have the same jump. Duchesne doesn't have the same jump as he used to. So, I think they're a lot slower than the Edmonton Oilers are. And the Edmonton Oilers want to utilize that speed, utilize their speed. And you look like McDavid was shot out of a cannon in game one. And I don't know if it was because he was playing against the Stars, who are a little slower or whatever, but he was just flying. And, you saw that play where he completely undressed Essa Lindell, who's a really good defenseman, and he made him look absolutely ridiculous. So I think we're going to see a little bit more of that tomorrow night.
DVD, great stuff, buddy. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. We'll chat with you next week.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me on.
There you go. That's Derek Van Diest from NHL.com. On behalf of Connor Halley, Declan Kruger, I'm Jason Gregor. Enjoy the other playoffs tonight, NBA, NHL, and then get back at it tomorrow. Also, here comes the sun. Somebody's going to win a $15,000 solar system courtesy of Action Electrical tomorrow. Let's get to the comment and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by your Alberta GMC dealers. Truck month continues on now at your Alberta GMC dealers. $5,000 cash purchase credit on a 2025 Sierra HD model. Learn more at gmccanada.ca.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
One game on the ice tonight in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Got the Panthers-Canes meeting in Raleigh. This one gets going in about 10 minutes' time. Panthers lead that series 1-0 in the association. Timberwolves Thunder meeting just after 6:30 with the Thunder looking to take a 2-0 series lead. Earlier today in the majors, the Jays victorious over the Padres, winning 7-6 in extras. PWHL tonight, Ottawa and Minnesota scoreless after 20 minutes. Ottawa leads that best-of-5 series 1-0. And in the CEBL, Singers out in Saskatoon for a meeting with the Rattlers. That gets going at 7:30. You can watch it on TSN+. That'll do it for us here on the Jason Gregor Show. Coming up next, it's Fox Sports Radio. Live local coverage resumes tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. with Kevin Carius. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
It's Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the